Semi-final action last week in Orinda. This is Zach Clark of Acalanes looking for Phil July in the corner of the end zone. This pass would end Miramonte's 35-game winning streak and send the Dons to the North Coast Section 2A final for the first time ever. Tonight, it's Los Lomas and Acalanes on AT&T Broadband's High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to high school football on AT&T Broadband. Tonight, it's the NCS 2A final game between the Acalanes Dons and the Los Lomas Knights. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez as always. And Steve, after last week's games, Acalanes and Miramonte, a fantastic finish. Campo Lindo and Los Lomas. What are we in store for here tonight?
Well, Dan, if it's anything like last week, last-minute heroics on both sides for both these teams, anything's possible. But this is a very intriguing matchup with these two teams. Two different styles, but it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of weapons on both sides of the field.
Let's talk about those weapons for Acalanes, of course, in their first ever North Coast Section championship football game. Both of these teams, really, Steve, have a great quarterback, great running back, great receiver, good defenses. Tonight we're going to focus on those receivers because they made the big plays last week. Right. On the Acalanes side of the ball, it's Zach Clark at quarterback, Tim O'Neill at running back, and Phil July is the wide receiver.
Well, Phil July, he's like a possessor receiver, Dan. Very good hands, runs good routes, doesn't miss anything that comes his way. Made a big catch in the corner of the end zone. One of the more exciting finishes we've seen on AT&T. Very good receiver, and expect a lot from him tonight.
For Los Lomas, once again, the same kind of setup. J.C. Lewis at quarterback, Dan Knockman the running back, Joe Davis the wide receiver, and he made a huge play last week.
Well, Joe Davis is more of an explosive type, Dan, a Sam DeSaul, if you will, type. Really fast, explodes off it, 91-yard touchdown to win it last week. Look for the big play from him and J.C. Lewis. That's what they're going to try to counter with.
It's championship weekend for the North Coast section. We'll be back to bring it to you in 3 minutes here on AT&T Broadband.
Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from A&B Creative Trophies. They specialize in awards, Letterman jackets, embroidery, and team trophies. Located on West 6th Street in Antioch. Simply the best selection, price, and service. That's A&B Creative Trophies of Antioch. Mention the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week and receive 5% off your next order. Mazzei, Pontiac, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and GMC Truck Company on West 10th Street. For over 50 years, Matt Mazzei and his courteous, no-pressure sales staff has helped thousands find the right car or truck for their particular budget and needs. That's Mazzei's in Antioch, the biggest little auto dealer in the West. Thanks again to all our friends from AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
Authentic Italian atmosphere.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Room for the whole family.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Pizza, beer, sports.
Rocco's!
Great place for your next team party.
Rocco's.
The best pizza in the East Bay.
Rocco's.
Your table is always ready at Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria at the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Fine Things, Italian charm bracelets, Yankee Candle, Willow Tree Angels, and beautiful gifts. Wonderful cards in downtown Antioch. Aladino's Pizza, located on Sunset Drive, right off the Hillcrest exit. Aladino's Pizza has big screen satellite TV for all the big sporting events. Antioch's finest pizzeria. American Plumbing, your plumbing specialist on G Street in downtown Antioch. Sales, repairs, and emergency service. That's American Plumbing, serving East and Central Contra Costa County. Straight Line Builders, specializing in room additions, add-ons, and fencing. Let Jim Carey, a licensed general contractor, do the job right the first time. The new Mecca Cafe on Railroad Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh, serving Contra Costa and beyond for over 30 years. Eat in or order to go. Guillermo and his crew cooked with pride. Furtado Heating and Air, sheet metal fabrication for your residential, commercial, and industrial needs on West 10th Street in Antioch. Thanks again to all our friends from the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
What are you doing?
What's it look like I'm doing, McFly? I'm changing my oil.
Did Colonel Clink lose his hat?
You're just mad because you don't got one.
Listen, we got a game to do.
It's not Monte Vista and San Ramon, is it?
No, it's Los Lomas. J.C. Lewis, remember the moms? We gotta go. By the way, Sanchez, are you changing the oil in your car or your hair?
My car. You know what? It's late. We gotta go.
Let's go. Steve, what are you gonna do? Most will even take it.
Back at Diablo Valley College, and we're getting ready for the coin toss. We're going to send it down to the field to tonight's referee.
Congratulate you on making it this far. Let's have a nice game. If you got any trouble, come to you guys to take care of your teams. Okay, it's an obvious call. I'm going to make it for you. If we call for a captain, you come find me. My name is Al Ross. This is Dale Newhouse. He's your umpire. This is Mr. Wells. This is Mr. Bell and Mr. Kataya. They're your other officials today. Okay. Statue of Liberty is the head. Torch is the tail. What would you like? Tails, please. If you'd like tails, I'm going to let it hit the ground, guys. Tails is called. Tails it is. It's your choice.
We'll take the ball, please.
You want the ball? What goal do you want to defend? Swing around over there. White has won the toss and will receive. Guys, shake hands. Bring your teams on the field.
And we're ready to go from Diablo Valley College. Steve, Acalanes won the toss. They'll receive. They won an exciting game last week against Miramani, and we talked to Coach Thompson of Acalanes today before the game. Keys of the game, he says for Acalanes, stop Nachman, stop Davis, and to throw the ball. Now, some people might think running is a better option for them, but he thinks they need to establish the throwing game, the passing game.
I think they're going to mix it up a little bit, Dan. I think that what you're going to see is that they're going to try to get O'Neill to run the ball. Obviously, I think probably their game plan is to try to keep the potent Knights off the field as much as possible and have control, driving time, consuming drives that can eat up the clock and make each one of the possession of the Knights have more important every time they go out on the field.
I think we're going to have the national anthem here shortly, but while we wait for that, Steve, Los Lomas, the keys to tonight's game, according to Coach Longero, move the ball, big plays is one of their keys. Block well up front and stop O'Neill and contain Clark.
Well, you know, I think we're going to go to the national anthem.
We're going to go down to the field of the national anthem. Anthem from Diablo Valley College as we get ready for tonight's 2A championship finals. Steve, we were talking about the keys for Los Lomas. Move the ball, big plays. They're a big play offense.
Oh, they really are, Dan, and look for them to, just like Miramani last week, Acalanes is facing the same kind of offense, a really an explosive offense back-to-back weeks, and it gets no easier when you get up at this level and this starts happening. But basically, I see them trying to do the same thing they did last week, keep them off the field and try to, just take time off the clock and score.
Block up front for Los Lomas is one of the keys. Obviously, they have a very good offensive line that has been together. As we take a look at Bradshaw down on the field with his troops. And also, stop O'Neill and Clark. And, I mean, that's pretty much the key tonight for both these teams is to stop the other team's stars.
Yes, that's exactly right. The skilled position players on both sides are all very good, else they wouldn't be this far. Some great athletes out on this field tonight, Dan.
Steve, one good thing about this game, we've seen both of these teams a lot now, and we're going to have a pretty good feel for what they're doing. Zach Clark and Anthony Lawrence back deep. Tom Schneider will kick for Los Lomas. The referees for tonight's game, Al Ross, Dale Newhouse, Scott Wells, Greg Bell, and Dave Kataya. Dale Newhouse and Dave Kataya, both Pac-10 officials, so they pulled out some of the big guns tonight, and we're underway. 2A championship. Los Lomas won one 10 years ago. Acalanes has never been here. This is Lawrence. Lawrence breaks a tackle, and then he's tripped up at the 21-yard line. 21-yard return for Lawrence to start the game. Here's the Acalanes starting offense that we saw last week as well. Zach Clark, the quarterback, the senior, playing in his last game. Tim O'Neill, the junior running back. Chris Gleason tonight at running back. Phil July and Peter Doherty are the receivers, and Andrew Scroggy tonight tied in for Coach Ron Thompson. Steve Nelson, Adam Samina, Tony Ferreras, Patrick White, and Blake the Missile Bissell, the offensive line for the Acalanes Dons. And Steve, if they can hold Los Lomas to 3 plays in the first quarter, they might have a pretty good shot in tonight's game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, very intriguing matchup.
And Steve, right off the bat, they run over the left side with O'Neill, and O'Neill is stopped for no gain. Here's the Los Lomas defense for you. Bonacorsi, one of the ends with Brendan Swisher, Tom Pippo, and Bronson Ward tonight at tackles for Los Lomas. The linebackers very good. Perrin, Morang, and Lowe, James Yamashita, and Ryan Spiegel. The corners, Joe Acrop and Joe Davis, the safeties.
Dan, last time we were here, well, I was with you with Los Lomas. Guess who made that tackle in the first one?
Kevin Lowe.
Very good, Daniel. Number 26, Kevin Lowe in on the tackle.
Kevin Lowe,
right out of the
junior,
gate.
And we're going to see him. We're going to see Kevin Lowe next year as he comes back to lead that defense again. Here's O'Neill, and this time he breaks one. O'Neill still on his feet, tripped up across the 40-yard line. So this kind of reminds me of last week. Did not break the first play for one, and then the next play, Acalanes goes for the big game.
And they went off that left side, Dan, with Patrick White and Dan Dixon on the left side.
21-yard gain, first down. Adam Samina.
Samina, is it
He's
Samina?
The big man, yes.
Okay, Samina. Well, he was on that left side too, and Nelson in the center. They did a great job right there opening up that hole on the left side.
6'7", 330. Handoff to O'Neill again, and O'Neill, the workhorse, gets about 3. It's going to bring up a second down. Swisher was there, Acrop and Lowe, to make the tackle for the Los Lomas Knights, Steve. And we're really excited about this game, and I told Coach Longero that. We've followed this team for 2 years now. I believe this is the 9th time we've done Los Lomas in the last 2 years, and this is kind of like the culmination of this team. This is the last time a lot of these guys are going to play together. And he said he hasn't felt real melancholy this week yet because he doesn't believe they've played their best game.
Yeah.
Pitch and a fake and a pitch to Gleason, and Gleason, who's starting tonight in the backfield, gets another first down. And Acalanes, Steve, you weren't with us the night we did them against Los Lomas earlier over at Acalanes,
right.
But they look like a totally different team over the last couple of weeks.
And that was back in what week was that, Dan, when they played?
It was the 8th week of the season. It was on November 1st.
Okay. That was the 17-10 Los Lomas win. And right there, Bissell and Ferreras on the right side. Right now, their line in the trenches are winning.
Second back
Look
to
at this,
Gleason.
Dan.
What a hole. Gleason has another first down, tackled at the 25-yard line by Joe Davis, and Acalanes is just moving right down the field, Steve. They've about 59 yards rushing here in 5 plays.
And Dan, let's watch this replay right here. Let's watch this right side right here.
That's the left side.
I'm sorry, the left side of the line. You got to help me, Dan. But right here, 42 just, I tell you, Gleason, he had a big part in last week's game. But you know what, Dan? In the trenches, Acalanes, that's where they're doing it right now.
Hand off to Gleason, breaks a tackle, and then he's tripped up. Short gain. Bronson Ward made the tackle for the Knights. But, you've really got to wonder, especially in football, the fact that these guys are only together for about 3 months.
Right.
And at what point does a team like an Acalanes really put it together?
That's exactly right.
Here's another interesting fact for you, Steve. Both of these teams' last loss came on an AT&T broadband game.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, Dan, you could just see Acalanes is just gelling at the right time. And sometimes that happens with high school teams. They go down the stretch and they just come together as a team, and this team looks like they're ready to play tonight.
First pass attempt of the game for Clark. Clark throws. That pass was attempted far side. Try to pick that number. I believe it was July, and it was, and it's incomplete.
And we're going to get a late hit on Clark, Dan, it looks like. Roughing the quarterback. Yeah, that's what it is. There's a flag down there.
So Acalanes is moving right down the field. They would have brought up a 2nd and 8, Steve, with that. A 3rd and 8 with that incompletion. But this is going to be a first down.
Yeah, this is going to move it right down in the red zone, Dan. This is a big
personal foul. Roughing the passer. against red. Automatic, first down.
This penalty will move the ball down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. So Acalanes, in the first 3 minutes of the game, driving right down the field.
Right down the field, just like you draw it up in the room, Dan.
Anyway, Steve, Acalanes' last loss on November 1st to Los Lomas, a game we brought you. Los Lomas' last loss, you have to go all the way back to September when they lost their third game of the season to Campolindo, and that was the last time. Excuse me, I think it was the fourth game. It was the fourth game of the season.
Yeah,
it was
20 to 34, Campolindo win.
First week in October for that game, and that was the last time they lost. So they're probably not too happy we're here.
No, they're really not. Both of them. Kevin Lowe again.
Yeah, he's a workhorse there as O'Neill stopped for
and Tom Pippo, 56. He was in on that defensive wreck there.
There's a gain of 1, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 9. 8:48 to go first quarter.
Dan,
and, no score.
Watch for the pitch on this far side of the field right here. Very successful. Last time they ran it with Gleason. They haven't ran it again yet. It's set up for this side. I don't know if they're going to do it or not because I don't know what I'm really talking about. But just watch this right side with the pitch.
Looks like they're going to pass here on 2nd down. Clark throws. He has a receiver. That's Gleason out in the flat, and he's tackled by Acrop at the 8-yard line. Going to bring up a big 3rd down play early in the first quarter.
And like I said, watch Gleason in the flat on the pass from Clark. And right here, this is what Clark does best because of his athletic ability, Dan. He just sprints out a little bit. Look at this throw on it. Gleason does a real good job, real solid player. Very sound fundamentally, and right there, he's going to positive yards right here. So it looks like about a second and about, I'm going to guess about 6, Dan.
It's 3rd and 5.
Told you.
Clark.
I'm on top of my game
You're
tonight.
right there.
That's how come I don't do play-by-play. Go ahead, Daniel.
166 yards passing last week. O'Neill over 100 yards, and he rushed for 1,500 during the season. Clark to throw. Gets away. Throws. End zone. Touchdown. Acalanes goes right down the field in 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
Peter Doherty.
An 8-yard, a 5-yard pass. No, it was an 8-yard pass. The scoreboard here is about as bad as Pittsburgh, Steve.
Yes.
An 8-yard pass to Doherty. And Acalanes on the scoreboard, 6-0 with 7:43 to go first quarter.
And Dan, if you kind of look at that, that was a mini play from last week against the Grain, rolling out and throwing across the field. Dan, there's a guy wide open, and there's Clark kicking the extra point, Daniel. But that was Clark's athletic ability all the way around. If we see the replay right here, he eluded a couple guys, bought a little bit of time, looked back across the field, kind of like last week, and boom.
Let's take a look at the replay of the touchdown. 79-yard drive for Acalanes to get on the scoreboard.
Right here, sprints left, Dan, and right here, just kind of like last week, but he came across for the right, but right here, just athleticism, but he gets smashed right there. Look at this throw.
Doherty in the lineup tonight, a junior, so we're going to see him next year. And comes in for as they move Gleason into the backfield tonight and made some switches there on offense. But Doherty makes the catch. But one thing about Los Lomas, they're kind of like the San Jose SaberCats. Even when you score first on them, you can pretty much expect that they're going to score pretty quick too. So, I mean, you look at some of the scores they've thrown up this year, Steve. They're very high-powered offense.
Yeah, and they really are, Dan. But let's not forget about Acalanes' defense, the great job they did last week. And, they're ranked 5th in team defense, Daniel. And I think last week, Los Lomas is 3rd. But if you look last week, what did they hold Miramonte to? 179 yards of total offense is unbelievable. I mean, so their defense is really coming together right at the right time. So you got all these names right here. Lewis, Lockman, Davis, Swisher. They got all these guys, and we're just going to see how their defense responds to this high-powered offense.
Yamashita takes Dixon's kick at the 17-yard line. Yamashita still on his feet. Yamashita, a big return out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Los Lomas in good field position to start their first drive. Here's the offense that we've been following for the last 2 years, and what a great offense it is. J.C. Lewis, the senior quarterback, with Dan Knockman and Kevin Lowe in the backfield. Toe Davis and James Yamashita, the wide receivers. Brendan Swisher's the tight end. Across the front line, a line we've become very fond of, Kazaz Perrin. I had to say Perron just so his mom would know I love him. Schwark, Miller, and Karajian. 22-yard return for Yamashita. First down, Knights at the 43-yard line. Just underway here, early first quarter, 7-0 Acalanes.
Look at this.
That's a fake, and Lewis gets away. Houdini's once, Houdini's twice, throws the sideline, intended for Swisher. Incomplete, good coverage that time by Marshall Nunn. Here's the Acalanes defense. Andrew Scroggy, Adam Samina, Todd Boudreau, Marshall Nunn across the front, Dan Dixon, J.P. Deemer as linebackers with Blake the Missile Bissell, Zach Clark, Derek Minetti, Kyle Sater, and Anthony Lawrence in the defensive backfield.
Dan, and Todd Boudreau
Boudreau
just leveled Lewis here at the end. Let's watch this right here when he gets rid of the ball. Look at this, Dan. Oh, he just got hammered.
You had a great line last week. It's a fine Boudreaux with your turkey.
It was a fine Boudreaux I had with my turkey. And
I don't know what name you've messed up more, that or Toena here early.
Well, you know. I'm lucky I found the stadium.
Just look for the lights. We have a penalty flag on the play. Lewis to throw, looking for Davis, and he overthrows Davis, who had one-on-one coverage with Zach Clark. There's a penalty flag on the play. It's a motion penalty on Los Lomas.
And right now, Dan, even on the defensive side, a little bit what we've seen, the Acalanes defensive line, they were doing.
Right, Captain.
I think we're going to hear what he's got to say here, Daniel.
Well, I think they're going to take this penalty.
I'm sure they are. But Scroggy, none.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving at the same time against the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
And Samina and Boudreaux.
And Boudreaux have doing a great job on the defense. And let's not forget the linebackers. They've been very active, Dan. The linebackers for Acalanes on defense, they've been doing a very good job. Dixon, Deemer, Bissell the Missile.
You saw Coach Longero there in your picture. He's a little worried here early. They declined the penalty. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 43 early in the first quarter. 7-0 Acalanes here, North Coast section, 2A final tonight. And we're going to bring you the 3A final next week and tape it tomorrow at the Oakland Coliseum. Brendan Swisher catches the pass over the middle, but a good tackle by Deemer, who had a great game last week against
he really did.
A gain of 4. It's going to bring up a punting situation, although, Steve, right here is a perfect spot for a fake punt.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. But, you know, when you think about it, I really think about that. On a penalty like that with a high-powered offense like Los Lomas, you don't want to give them an extra play. You just say, okay, you know what, we'll give you 1 play to get 10. I'm not going to give you 2 plays to get 15. So, good coaching decision. Turned out good.
Jim Kuhn on to punt. And that's number 19, a new number, Ender Dillon. There's a name for you. Ender Dillon, number 19, up from the JVs. Playing in, I think, the first action that Mr. Dillon is seeing, because I don't think he got in the game last week, and he returns that punt for a short return. 35-yard punt, short return, and Acalanes takes over. The AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, the North Coast Section Championships, are brought to you by our great friends here at AT&T Broadband, Rocco's Restaurant and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Brennan Theaters in Concord and Pittsburgh, Jory's Flowers of Concord and Walnut Creek, and the Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Mr. Funnelhead. Right, they're at the same exact spot, the 21-yard line. They start the second drive, 1st down, handoff O'Neal. And O'Neal, like a little bowling ball, shoots through there. Knocks down a few of the Los Lomas pins there, Steve. Perrin and Lowe, as always, was
Perrin,
there.
54, was in on it. And O'Neal, Tim O'Neal, you really got to like this guy. I tell you, he's just really solid in between the tackles, Dan. Nothing really fancy about him. But you look at him, and the guy's got 4, 5, 6 yards. You know, you may get him 4 one time, 6 the next time, but very good between the tackles. Very strong kid.
He's rushed for 31 yards so far here in the first quarter. 2nd and 8. Zach Clark, the quarterback for Acalanes, in the white and blue Indianapolis Colt colors here tonight. And there's O'Neal again, and O'Neal has a 1st down, and O'Neal's still on his feet at the 40. O'Neal's at the 47-yard line, finally drugged down near the 50 by Davis and number 17, Mike Morang. And boy, is this a change. You know, the early game, Acalanes could hardly do anything against Los Lomas. And in this game, they are fired up and ready to go.
Let's watch him right here, Dan. And here he shows it. Look at that blocking on the right side. The Bissell, 25, Dan. And right here, he breaks off to the side. And watch his stiff arm to Davis. Get out of here. What a great run. Moves the change. He shows you a little bit of his speed. Number 25 threw a great block for Acalanes, Dan.
Steve Condon.
I thought he was out with a broken arm. It can't be him. Maybe somebody's got his number.
53 yards on 6 carries for O'Neal here in the first quarter. Some of our great friends of the program, Jerry Motors, Humphreys on the Delta, Independent Copier Service, Antioch Automatic Transmission, Antioch Dental Group. And, of course, Diablo Foods, 3615 Mount Diablo Boulevard in Lafayette, 10 Dana Plaza in Concord. Steve, they have old-fashioned service, great food, and great service at Diablo Foods. If you're in the area in Lafayette or Concord, make sure you stop by. Great friend of the program here on AT&T Broadband.
And not just great service, they're kind of like just real nice.
Yeah, very, very nice people.
They're nice people there, Daniel.
We had
Acalanes 7 first downs already, Dan. First 2 possessions. That shows you they're moving the ball.
I think they called timeout. Steve, Acalanes on the season, 1,718 yards rushing, only 864 passing in the regular season. Remember, these are regular season stats. They averaged 258 yards on offense per game, but only turned the ball over 11 times. That could, then, their differential is incredible. Plus 16 if you counter what they've taken away versus what they've turned over on offense. And for the defense for the Los Lomas Knights, this is where you'd think it might be an Achilles heel, but they've really only given about 20 yards more a game than Acalanes. Acalanes averages 212 a game. Los Lomas 237. Los Lomas has taken the ball away 25 times. Acalanes 27. Here we go. Pass to July in the flat, and July makes a move, but he's a horse collared and tied up over there.
Patrick Clancy, number 4, Dan. He's the first.
And then, of course, all the usual
mugging
suspects.
on the scene.
Yeah, Lowe and Meringue and Perron. Or Perrin.
That Perrin Perron thing.
That one just.
You can talk to his mom on that because she looked at me and said, I need to talk to Daniel.
That one, there's a few names that just don't register in your head, Steve.
You know what's real nice? We got Jackson in the other booth with a window between it.
I know.
And that's real nice.
It's beautiful.
But the sign language, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he's sitting there throwing up numbers. I'm like,
Second down, handoff to Gleason, and Gleason is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Nice play. Get that number for you.
Number 5, Daniel.
That is number 5. That's Pete Lawliger.
Pete Lawliger. He
He's
threw
a
a big
senior.
touchdown pass last week.
No, his brother threw the touchdown pass.
Really? There's 2 Lawgers? I can't even say their names.
There's 2 Lawligers, and their mom stopped by to make sure I got the name right.
And how do you say it?
John Lawliger is the sophomore quarterback, heir apparent to J.C. Lewis, and Pete Lawliger is a senior playing his last football game.
You know what? I figured out why people like me. Because I mess up so much, you got to say their names more than I would just once.
Okay, except for Ryan Perrin's mom.
Is it Perron?
It's Perrin.
Okay.
3rd and 8, first quarter. Acalanes by 7. Clark, play action, throwing, has a receiver. It's July. And July makes a great move, still on his feet. He is still on his feet.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this.
Holy. Unbelievable. That looked like a train wreck and a recovery mission all in the same play.
That's right.
We got to see another look at this. Steve, the entire Los Lomas defense made the tackle.
That's right, but you're going to see number 11 and number 12, Spiegel and, oh, my God.
Yamashita.
Thank you. Sounds like a battleship. Anyway, right here. Watch this, Dan. Good throw. Hits him in stride. And watch this.
Meringue missed him.
Right. There's a felony.
Spiegel to horse collars him.
Now there's a misdemeanor. Here comes an assault charge.
Clark to throw. Sideline. July makes a move. July still on his feet inside the 10-yard line. Drugged down at the 9-yard line.
Board of course, he's number 8 was in on the tackle.
It was Joe Davis. You need these binoculars, Steve. You can look through.
Let me see. I don't need those binoculars.
Looking through this window.
It
far
was
side.
number 8 who made the tackle.
No, it was number 9, Joe Davis.
Let's get a replay.
Okay, let's see the replay.
Maybe they don't got it. You know that
Anytime
Johnny
you
Woo.
ask.
Here it is. Let's see what number 8 or 9. There's 9. There's Davis. Let's look at number 8 over here. Dan, I think I got you on one. No. Here comes number 9. Like I said, number 8. God.
You cannot fool me, Steve.
Dan,
there we are.
You are good.
There we are. The guy that knows.
And the guy who don't know.
The guy who don't
That's
know.
me.
You know, Steve, I got to say hi to all of our fans out there.
We got a fan?
People stop me all the time and they
Really?
go, you guys are doing a great job. So I think for one time this year, we're going to pat ourselves on the back and say, you've done a great job this year coming back from your whatever the heck you went away for. And I've been here the whole time, and I've got a nice new perm from Images 3 Hair Salon.
Did Sam do that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Purchase your copy of the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Memories created today, remembered for a lifetime.
Oh, we got a new slogan.
That's the Hallmark sponsor.
Oh.
Yeah, Hallmark. $25 per tape. Call 933-6264. We should have a brisk business this week with this game. Now, folks, we are going to tape San Ramon and Monte Vista tomorrow at the Oakland Coliseum. It'll be shown next week on Saturday and Sunday, and there's the Los Lomas cheerleaders.
And you know who their coach is?
I have no idea.
And Luke. Whose son?
He's a quarterback somewhere, playing somewhere.
Kansas State, 2 years ago.
I can't know everything, Sanchez.
Oh, my God. I thought you'd have that one down.
First down. Hand off to O'Neal. O'Neal spins, fights off one tackler, and he's finally corralled. Lawliger made the tackle. He was on the bottom of the pile.
Good shot of Coach Thompson there on the sidelines.
Coach Longero's got to be a little bit worried. Here's the number 4 seed coming out. Big upset last week. And in a game they really should never have been challenged in the way they played. And there's Coach Thompson, who's done a great job with this team. And, these two guys coached together.
Yes,
did
they
you know
did.
that?
Yes, they did.
He was the head coach at Los Lomas, and then he moved over here, and Coach Longero took over, and they're good friends. That's another intriguing sideline to tonight's game.
Look at this. This is open,
Here's that pitch to Gleason once again, and Gleason is down inside the 5 and tackled at the 2-yard line. And this is just an amazing, ever since Acalanes walked on the field last week against Miramonte, they've been the best team we've seen in the playoffs.
Yes, they really have, Dan. And you know what? They've really been the surprise team because it's not that they're capable of not doing this, but it's really the teams they're going up against, these high-powered offensive-wise, you're just taking it to them. There's a good shot of Zach Clark.
Steve, so far in tonight's game.
Let's watch this replay right here, Dan. And right here, there's just a pitch right here. And right here, they're in business right here. And Gleason, he's just trying to run to the outside. Good positive gain, about 9 yards. 3rd and 2, Daniel, take it.
Here's a handoff, O'Neal, and O'Neal's in for the touchdown. A 2-yard run by O'Neal, 2:26 to go, first quarter, 13-0 Acalanes. Steve, Acalanes has outgained Los Lomas 140-5 and outscored them 13-0 in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Nelson, Ferreras, and Bissell on the right side, Dan, did a great job right there opening up that hole.
The one thing I have to say about this, and it's the same thing we said last week, is that Miramonte and Los Lomas are teams that can definitely score. That kick barely dribbled through. Steve, that looked like a Matt Bolander kick from a couple weeks back in the playoffs.
Did you see him?
I seen. Did you see the guy slobbering? Let's take a look at the touchdown.
And right here, Dan, it's just right on the right side. I mentioned the guys. Look at that wall collapse right there.
Jeez.
What a great job. These guys are just unbelievable in the trenches right now. Acalanes is just beating them to the punch right in the dirty work, Dan, now where it gets ugly.
Great night out here tonight. Good football night. Good football weather. Yeah. Additional friends of the program. Fine Things, Aladino's Pizza, American Plumbing, Straight Line Builders, the New Mecca Cafe. Thanks for tonight's crew meal, guys. Furtado Heating and Air. Lee Home Sales, Delta RC Raceway and Hobby Shop, Dragon's Lair at Rivertown, Delta Bay Waterproofing, Performance Chiropractic, and Communications Buildings of America. Doherty, a 5-yard pass from Clark. O'Neal, a 2-yard run. It's 14-0 with 2:26 to go in the first quarter, Steve. And Los Lomas, quite simply, has to do something with the ball right now.
Well, Dan, right now it's, it's really, truly amazing how these Dons have really come together in the last couple of weeks. And, I mean, you can't say enough for Coach Thompson and his staff over there. He's got these kids to play ball, and they're really responding. And you know what? Right now, they're believing more and more in themselves that, this is ours. This is ours to win.
Dixon to kick, and he dribbles one on the AstroTurf here, and it goes over the head of Yamashita. He goes back to the 8-yard line to pick it up. Yamashita runs right by, Joe Davis right there. You really got to say, what was he doing? Mm-hmm. He ran into the way of his own returner because he's so used to being the returner, and they get tackled down at the 11-yard line, and they're going to have to go 89 yards to score a touchdown here, Steve.
Dan, we're really going to have to find out this 25 thing here.
It could be I
think it's a player wearing the jersey in honor of him, and I'm going to have to find that out at halftime who's 25. Because he's playing great. He's had a couple great special teams, and unless they're just going to come out and say, hey, it's
yeah, that was a strange return right there. I don't think it's Condon, though.
No.
Running play on first down. That was Nachman. I think that's Nachman's first run with the ball right there.
It is. And your buddy, the missile.
But
the pistol.
I go back to that return, and Davis just looked out of sorts.
Yeah.
He just, the minute the other guy gets the ball, you got to go out and block for him.
Oh, yeah.
And he just kind of ran alongside him, ran into Yamashita. Yamashita only got back to the 11. That gain of 4 brings the ball out to the 15-yard line. 1:53 to go first quarter. 14-0 Acalanes here, trying to win their first ever North Coast Section Division II title in football. Last year, right here, it was Campolindo and Miramonte. So the total opposite this year, Nachman on second down ahead of the 20. And if you think about it, Steve, it's almost like a tournament every year in this 2A.
Yeah.
This league's so strong.
It is. It's a very strong league.
The last 2 years, these 4 teams, Campolindo, Miramonte, Acalanes, Los Lomas, have been the top 4 seeds. They've played in the semifinals. Last year, Miramonte beat, and Campolindo came here and played. Miramonte won that game 21-14. And this year, Acalanes and Los Lomas won the semis, and they're here playing. It's amazing.
It really is. And on that right side, Kazaz, Schwark.
Karajian. That's a name you wouldn't get if you were his uncle.
Wasn't that OJ's lawyer?
What a play.
No. Oh, he got through, though.
He barely gets the first down. Yeah. They had to get about a yard.
Yeah, what a great second effort on his part, though, because he got hammered in the back by number 45 on defense, Marshall Nunn.
Here it is.
And number 50, oh, you know, it was Deemer.
Oh, Deemer.
50, he came in and just, oh, baby. But what a great effort. Their first down, Daniel.
10-1 in first downs, 140-15 in yardage, 14-0 in points. It's been Acalanes all day long here at, or all night long here.
All night long.
At Las Madonnas College.
And tomorrow it's going to be all day long
Man,
for B&U.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to the Sharks game.
I know you are. You invited me, but I just can't.
I just want to let everyone know I'm missing a Sharks game tonight.
That's unbelievable.
I want everyone to know that the Sharks are at home tonight. The first game for Coach Ron Wilson, and Dan is here doing high school football.
I had a guy tell me, Johnny's Market, oh, you know, I'll be seeing Dan at the Sharks game.
Andre,
I go, no, you won't, Andre. He goes, what do you mean?
Lewis, good play action. Throws out to Davis. Davis. Oh, and it's off. They want a flag. Clark was out there in coverage.
Clark, great job right there. Right when he looked back to make an adjustment to the ball. And I tell you, you know, I am so impressed with Zach Clark. What a great all-around athlete. Let's watch this right here, Dan. And this is what Lewis does. Plenty of time in the pocket.
Blocking,
Give that offensive line plenty of time. And look at this kid throw the ball, folks. He can let it wing.
Now let's see. I don't know.
You don't hit Clark in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good no call. I'll go with that.
Yep. And Davis. So far Davis has been shut out. 2nd and 10 with 26 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But Las Lomas just needs to keep their composure.
Yeah,
here,
there's no reason to panic right now, but they've got to get in their offense.
Play action again. Lewis to throw. Looks to the other sideline. Has a receiver down there, and it's incomplete.
Kind of basically the same thing. They just went down the other side.
That was Spiegel with Minetti, and incomplete. So, you know, in a way, though, they are kind of panicking. As there's a look at Coach Longero, it's probably time at this point to maybe throw some underneath stuff.
Maybe
look
so.
to Swisher.
They're kind of going up. Well, there's your tight end, Swisher. You love the tight end, so. But right here, it's a good no call. Just kind of a jump ball, kind of up there, and just good defensive play.
There was nothing there.
No, nothing there. You can't. Was that Stater, Dan, on the play?
That was Minetti.
Minetti? Like I said, Minetti on the play.
Las Lomas, as we mentioned, the 3rd-ranked offense in the area in the regular season, averaging 382 yards a game.
Dan, big 3rd down play right now early in this game right here. They got to keep the sticks moving right here and keep it out of Acalanes' hands.
And Lewis calls his own number, makes a good cut ahead, and dives ahead for the first down.
Oh, well, this is going to pin on the mark, Dan. This is close.
I think he got it. J.C. Lewis around the left side on and not a quarterback draw, but just a quarterback keeper that way.
I think they're going to measure. Yeah, this is close, Dan.
And the clock runs out to end the first quarter. I think we're going to stay here, though, for the measure. You want to stay here for the measurement?
Let's stay here for the measurement, Dan.
I'm asking you. You're in charge.
You know what? Let's stay here for the measurement because it is a big measurement.
And then we'll go. Here's the measurement.
And then we're going to find out what's going on.
They're short by about 6 inches. And that ends the first quarter. The score at the end of one quarter of play, the Acalanes Dons, the number 4 seed 14, the number 2 seeded Las Lomas Knights 0. We'll be back for the second quarter after this on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems and stadium-style seating. Catch the back-to-school movie special at their Pittsburgh location with rolled-back admission prices and a free concession coupon each week on the Brendan Pittsburgh website page. And RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez. RSC offers a wide variety of equipment specific to the petrochemical industry, as well as the general contractor and homeowner. We deliver straight to the site and have a fully trained staff of mechanics and office personnel to fit every need. That's Rental Service Corporation, 4030 Pacheco Boulevard in Martinez. Thanks again to all our friends from the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
Frankie, what are you doing underneath your car?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm changing my oil filter.
Come on, let's go. The girls won't wait forever.
As soon as I clean this mess up, we can go.
Just toss it in the garbage over there, or in the storm drain.
Boy, Chaz, you just don't get it. Whatever goes down the storm drains goes directly to the river, delta, and the bay. And most importantly, to your precious surf beaches. Do the right thing. Take care of it.
Back for the second quarter of play, 4th down, big play. And that's Knockman, and Knockman has a first down.
Yeah, they're going to move the sticks right there. A little nice second effort by Knockman on the left side. Go ahead, Daniel.
Tony Schultz is with us. He's on the sideline. We're going to send it down to Tony right now.
All right, guys, Acalanes trying to exact some revenge against the Knights. The Knights beat them back on November the 1st. Right now, Acalanes got everything going for them. And how about that offense by the Dons, guys? Last week, it took every minute for them to get 2 touchdowns against Miramani. Here, they just needed their first 2 drives. Acalanes going for their first ever NCS championship. Back upstairs.
Tony's car broke down, and he made it here. He's
amazing.
Trooper. He's a trooper.
Yes, he is. And I think he goes to Stalin's, where Sam does your hair. His hair's always nice.
Timeout on the field after that first down. Los Lomas trying to get something positive going. The AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, the North Coast Section Championships, are brought to you by great friends of the program here on AT&T Broadband. A&B Creative Trophies in Antioch.
Jackie and Gene Azevedo.
Mazzei Pontiac in Antioch, and soon relocating to Pittsburgh.
Matt Mazzei's going to Auto Row and Pitt.
Rental Service Corporation, rental sales and service at 4030 Pacheco Boulevard. The scissor lift shot is courtesy of our RSC Rental Service Corporation.
I don't know nobody there, but thank you for the scissor lift.
Thank you very much.
Manny, it's Manny who's there.
Okay.
I still don't know him, though.
The Los Lomas coaching staff, while they have the ball, Doug Longero out of UC Davis in his 4th year as head coach of the Knights. Bill Neal, Warren Parker, Don Bradshaw, Scott Palmbush, Jim Carlson, Dan Ornelas on the sideline tonight out of Antioch. Used to play basketball with us out there, Steve.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Pat Lickus is the principal at Los Lomas for the Knights. 10-2, lost back all the way in week 2 and 4 on games we brought you to Miramani and Campolindo. Haven't lost since that loss to Campolindo on October 4th. So first down, Lewis to throw, throws near sideline to Swisher. Swisher makes the catch, and then Swisher looks like some sort of machine that Rental Service Corporation would give you and just plows ahead for a first down.
You know what he said? He said, here I am, here you are, let's get it on. That's what he said. Let's watch this right here. Here's what you do when you see death straight in your face. Right here, Dan. You just turn around, he says, hi, I'm Brandon Swisher, and it's nice to meet you, and you're not. And I'm going to pick up about 5 more yards on you and move the chains. And you could kind of feel that Lewis is starting to get a little comfortable now behind the helm.
Kyle Sater made the tackle. First down, a gain of 12. The ball to the 45-yard line. Just started the second quarter, Steve, 14-0 Acalanes.
What a great name. Huh, Dan? Ollie Kazaz.
Ollie Kazaz.
Ollie Kazaz.
I love that name.
Ollie.
Los Lomas has some great names.
Yes,
There's no doubt about it. Lewis in the regular season, Steve, threw for 2,021 yards, 17 touchdowns, had a passer rating of 154.6.
Wow.
Nachman ran for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. And, of course, Davis, the big play man with 43 catches for 995 yards, 12 TDs, the 5th best receiver in this area. Davis comes in motion towards us. Lewis to throw on first down. Plenty of time. Lewis looking for Davis. Davis is, and it hit him right in the hands.
Yep. Well,
he accelerated past Sater, had it right in his hands, and dropped it down at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, he's hitting himself in the head right there. That was 6. But I'll tell you what, right now, Dan, what a great job Los Lomas offensive line is doing right now protecting Lewis. If they give him that much time and they're not able to get no pressure on Lewis, look for him to have some big plays. Let's watch this. Look at this pocket here, Dan. Boy, he just steps up and lets it fly. And can this guy throw a ball? Great scissor lift shot, guys. Boy, what a nice ball. Look at this. Oh, baby. Unbelievable. Kyle Sater right there he was on the coverage right there.
Second down, Lewis, little bootleg out to this side, breaks a tackle. And he just got a helmet-to-helmet hit there. It was not intentional. I believe that was Nunn, and it was. And there's none better than Marshall Nunn, Steve.
Boy, Dan, you are coming up. I think, have you been reading Walt Whitman or something during the week for some poet? And there's Coach Longero right there. He's fired up. Let's watch this right here, Dan. This is a little James Brown dance right here. Ha! Jump back. Right here. Hoo! Kiss myself. Ton of people. a ton of people going to tackle me.
Gain of 6, 3rd and 4. 10:20 to go second quarter. 14-0 Acalanes. Great crowd, great atmosphere tonight at Diablo Valley College. Lewis won the keeper, and Lewis is going to be short of the first down. The missile, Blake Bissell, made the tackle.
And I'll tell you what, boy, now you want to talk about a hog tie. That was a hog tie right there.
That looked like something out of the rodeo.
Yes, it was. And right now you're on their side of the field. I think Longero's going to go for it. I don't think he really feels comfortable with Acalanes' offense. Let's watch the replay right here, Dan. And let's watch number big 66 right here. Is he a Fruit Loop guy or is he a Fruity Pebble? He's a Fruity Pebble kid.
I think he's more like a sirloin steak and a baked potato.
Baked potato guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4th and 3, another big play on 4th down. Los Lomas just hasn't been able to get anything happening on offense so far. They have struggled, and they're going for it again. Lewis cuts upfield. Great play, 1st down.
Yep.
And more. To the 37-yard line goes J.C. Lewis with the ball. Nunn made the tackle, along with the number 56 on defense for Acalanes, Patrick White. There's J.C. Lewis, Steve, and he's doing it all on his own right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's running this offense. Good kick-out block right there by Kazaz. On the right-hand side, good pulling the center. Good job right there. Number 5 on the tackle, Daniel.
And Minetti was
Derek
there.
Minetti.
Minetti was there. I think I saw a couple of the guys that were. I always see the guys arriving late because I'm trying to figure out actually what's going on. There was Coach Thompson on the sidelines. We'll talk about the Acalanes coaching staff a little later here. 1st down, the ball at the 37-yard line. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Los Lomas trying to get on the scoreboard, trailing by 14. Another option play. Lewis looks like Steve Young. He looks like Burt Reynolds when he comes back into the game in the longest yard.
Yes, he does.
Remember, he just had to do it all on his own.
Yes, he did.
And he's doing it all on his own right now.
But, it still brings down a 3rd down play, Dan.
It's actually going to be 2nd down.
Yes, like I said, it's 2nd down.
Oh, you kill me.
Yeah, well, I kill a lot of people, but, I keep, till you guys tell me not to come back, I'm going to keep showing up.
Los Lomas started this year with a very close victory over Napa. Schneider kicked a 51-yard field goal to win that game. Lost to Miramani, beat College Park, and then lost to Camp Lindo on games we all brought you. We saw them last against Acalanes in that win. They won out here. They won their last 6 games of the regular season. They've won 8 in a row, and trying to get on the scoreboard, get something positive going here tonight. 2nd down, Lewis to throw. Pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete.
I want to say 51 on the linebackers core, Dan. I think it's 51 if I'm looking at here.
Well, that would be Steve Nelson.
Or how about Dan Dickinson? Maybe Dan Dixon, 41. Let's see who jumps up right here on the outside. I think it's Dixon, 41, Dan. Let's see number 41.
Oh, it looked like 51.
It looked like
Nelson.
51.
It was Steve Nelson.
Yeah.
He's probably rotating some players in. Nelson is in at the far end.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Samina from about a mile away. He's a man-child.
Yes.
Mr. Samina goes 6'7", 330. He's a senior.
I notice anybody over 6'5" and like 250 is Mr. to you. I've noticed that with you.
Well, you have to have a little respect for those guys that can pick you up and throw you around like a rag doll. Knockman on 3rd down, and oh man, Knockman.
That's going to be close.
Does a little Mary Lou Retton move there, down to the 26-yard line.
That's a good call, Dan. And I'll tell you what, Brandon Swisher did a very good job, number 7, blocking on the inside there, turning that in. Let's watch Swisher right here, Dan. I don't know if we can get it on the right. Look at him right here, number 7. Look at him turn that in, number 41, Nelson. No, because that would be 51. Look at this. Yeah, Mary Lou.
Man. And it's going to bring up another big 4th and 1.
That was Dan Dixon. Swisher put the nice block in there to seal the corner.
This is going to be the 3rd 4th down attempt on this drive for Los Lomas. They've moved the ball. They're down in scoring position in the red zone, very close to the red zone at the 27-yard line. But this is a big play. Let's see what Lewis
does. Watch
a
sneak right here, Dan. There's a hole there.
And Lewis once again, and he gets the 1st down. Lewis just went right around the left side. There was a big hole there, and he gets a 1st down inside the 20. And Los Lomas finally moving the chains. But you know one thing about this, Steve? This game almost is like in total reverse right now.
It really is.
The team that's supposed to go right down the field isn't, and the team that's supposed to take 7 minutes to drive has went down right down the field.
And I'm afraid to say Ryan Perron.
Ryan Perrin and Raleigh Miller on the side right there opened up the hole. Look at 55 and 54 right there. What a great job. Lewis has 41 yards rushing. He's the whole offense right now. Boy, Miller was just very aggressive on that play. You like seeing that in an offensive lineman. 1st down. The ball at the 20. And I think that's Swisher with the ball. Number 7. It was Swisher.
It was Swisher. Good call.
They're really throwing some curveballs at Acalanes right now, mixing it up. And Dan, you know what? Regardless, this has got the feel of a great inning. You know what I mean? I mean, here you are. You got the team that's not, the more ball control tempo team that eats up the clock, jumping up 14-0 on a very explosive team. Los Lomas is going to put points on the board. So I took the under and over. I took both of them. Oh, well, that's a good way to bet. And knowing you probably bet the same amount, so you'll end up even. Yeah, I have a gambling problem, so I just even the bet out. I'll take 50 on the over and 50 on the under. Thank you. That's what I do. And then if it hits right on, I'm really in trouble. So you're happy, even though because you get your money back. That's right, Daniel. And I'm happy because I'm with you tonight. Oh, well, thank you very much. Gain of 5, 2nd down. Play action. Lewis rolling, throws into the flat. Knockman, and Knockman has another first down inside the 10, tackled by Zach Clark. And Los Lomas finally, Steve, has a 1st and goal, and this will be their first time down this close where they could get in and try to score.
Let's watch this right here. Knockman out of the backfield right there on top of your screen. Very good concentration because he gets hit right in when he catches the ball. Clark, the great athlete he is, closes ground real quick, but they move the chains. 1st and goal. And they've had like what, Dan? 4 fourth down conversions on this drive?
It's like a 30-play drive right now, Steve. It's almost taken up the entire second quarter.
Yeah, there's only 5:47 left. They really got to have this right here. They got to have 7 at least.
Lewis throws, quick pass to Davis. Davis with his great speed outside. Hammers one of the Acalanes players at the 2 and is knocked out of bounds near the goal line.
That was Kyle Sater, number 2, that he really hit, Dan.
And Sater looks like he is he's getting up slow.
Yeah, he gave him a hit. And he's kind of got a stinger right now on his arm right there. And those sting. That's why they call them stingers.
Well, you're on your game tonight.
Boy, I tell you. Let's watch the replay right here, Daniel. Right here, just a quick flip right here out to the flat. Watch this right here. Here's Davis using his speed. Watch him just lower right here. Here comes 2. Oh, yeah, just gives him a lick.
And it finished off by Lawrence as they knocked Davis out of bounds. 2nd and goal from the 2. I think J.C. Lewis might call his own number down here again. Now they hand off to Knockman, and he's in, for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Dan Knockman, a 2-yard run, and Los Lomas is on the board with 5:29 to go second quarter. It's 14-6. Dons.
Well, Dan, you know what? You're absolutely right. They're like they changed jerseys in the locker room, and it's really crazy.
If you were to write a script and tell someone, expect Acalanes to take a lot of time to score, and Los Lomas will go right down the field in 5 plays, and it's been the total opposite.
Right.
But now, Los Lomas. Then they fumble the snap, and Lewis is tackled. That's a big play.
That's a big play.
That could come back to haunt Los Lomas. They're usually very good on special teams. Schneider's a very good kicker, but Lewis bobbled the snap. The extra point is no good. 14-6, 5:29 to go. Let's take a look at the touchdown. Just a little off-tackle slant run right here, Steve.
Left side.
And he could have ran down to Rasputin Records.
Right.
And to the Blondie's Pizza over there. Here's a nice look at the light tonight, just to show you that we're outside and it's night.
That's a lot of light.
14-6, Acalanes trying to win their first ever North Coast Section 2A championship in football. They've won a lot of titles in other sports, but not in football. Let's send it down on the field to Tony.
Hey guys, how about that bounce back by the Dons? They get down by a couple of touchdowns, get a big 4th down in 1 play, not to worry. Lewis and Knockman, both factors on that last drive. Now they've cut the lead to just 1 touchdown, although a big miss on that extra point. But look for the Knights to get a little bit stronger as we go on, and you know their defense is going to play better in the second half. Acalanes off to the good start, but boy, what a great championship game. Guys?
Thanks, Tony. Schneider to kick. Zach Clark, one of the deep men for Acalanes with Lawrence, and this comes down to Lawrence at the 3-yard line. Lawrence goes far sideline, has a lane, picking his way through, still on his feet, and finally tackled at the 24-yard line. Additional friends of the program: Pacific Pride Distribution, Joe's Food and Gas, Skip's Copier, Pace Auto Sales, Narrow Road Design, Antioch Opticians, Rock Bottom Records, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Antioch Chiropractic and Dr. Bill Riston, Golf and Games, S&S Imports, Trident Environmental and Engineering, Antioch Armory, Pantel's Music Box, and Bestwick Insurance. 20-yard return for Lawrence, Steve. The tackle was made by Colin Fritz, and we want to mention once again, thanks to Diablo Foods, a great friend of the program at 3615 Mount Diablo Boulevard in Lafayette, 10 Dana Plaza in Concord. Hopefully they'll join us for and become a permanent member of the AT&T Broadband Sports
and hopefully some
family.
other businesses will join next year.
Because we do try to get the kids on here, try to make a good thing out of these sports broadcasts that we bring you, and we have a good time. Oh, a fumble, and Clark dives on top of it. This is going to lose about 6 yards for Acalanes, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 16, and that's just the kind of break that the Knights are looking for.
Yeah, and you know what, Dan? That's the first negative thing on offense that's happened to the Dons, and it's kind of a big one because it's going to knock them out back 7 yards. Just, you're doing that little misdirection thing, and a little bit of penetration by the defensive line of the Knights to kind of confuse things. I should say, raise a little havoc in the backfield, Daniel.
Man, we got some cheering going down in front of us. Los Lomas going crazy. O'Neal kicks his way ahead for about 4, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. Steve, we talked a lot about the play that Phil July made last week with Zach Clark to win that game. and bring Acalanes to this game. But we haven't talked that much about Joe Davis and that pass. Lolliger throws the pass, comes in for J.C. Lewis, who had a mild concussion, and on a 2nd and 10 from the 9-yard line with under a minute to play.
Right.
And as Coach Thompson told me, a gutsy move because it would have bring up 3rd and 10 from the 9.
Right.
2 timeouts left for Acalanes. They throw, for Campolindo, throw a 91-yard touchdown pass to win that game. This is July, and they do this better than I think any high school team I have ever seen. He throws the ball before July ever makes his cut.
Right.
He was right in front of Spiegel. Meringue was over there as well and to help out with the tackle. Great pass, though, right on the money to the sideline to July, makes the cut, and he gets tackled at the 48-yard line. Now look at this. Watch the ball before he even makes the cut. He throws the ball.
Yep.
I mean, they do that better than I've ever seen.
Kenny Stabler, Friendly Blick.
Exactly. Very, very good, Steve. 32-yard gain, first down from the 48. Acalanes driving once again. O'Neal spins, but barely back to the line of scrimmage. All the usual suspects there, but
Kevin Lowe.
Kevin Lowe was there. Bronson Ward was in on the tackle. No
Bronson
gain.
Ward, 22. He was in on it.
We had like a noise in our. Well, they might hear it. See, some of this stuff, that's why we're the talent, because we have no idea what's going on around us. You ever notice that?
Well, I noticed one thing. I don't think I'm really talented. Look at this. Look at Neil.
Oh,
Look at
Gleason. Gleason breaks the tackle. First down out to the 31-yard line.
Boy, what a big pickup right there, Dan. Huh?
And Gleason's another guy. I mean, Steve, one thing about both of these teams, a lot of people think Los Lomas is losing a lot of guys.
Right.
But after this replay right here, I want to show you that there's some guys coming back. But look at Gleason right here.
Dixon White and Semina on the left side, Dan. Real big hole. Davison on the tackle.
17-yard gain. Just take a look at Los Lomas' team, though, and Acalanes. They will get Lowe back. Yamashita will be back. Swisher will be back. Bonacorsi will be back.
He's got him.
They got some guys coming back. Clark to throw. That was intended for number 25. Now, you know what? That's Condon.
That is
it's
Condon.
Either Condon or it's a guy wearing Condon's jersey.
Let's just say Condon. You know what? He's
That
got a
must be
brace
him.
on his arm. That is Condon.
That is Condon.
Okay.
Clark is thrown for 83 yards. I want to point this out to you. Bronson Ward will be back. Spiegel. And remember, guys like Lolliger and Anderlight and Pomerantz will all be back next year for Los Lomas. For Acalanes, they'll get O'Neal back. Jalai will be back. Ferraris will be back. Boudreaux, Nunn, Manetti, Sater. So these teams are not going to be left empty.
Nope.
Second down, Clark. And that one just kind of slipped out of his hand, but he had a little seam route to Gleason. And if he would have caught that, he'd have been
Gleason
gone.
was open, Dan, and I'll tell you what happened on it. Kind of floated on him a little bit. He got it out, and he seen his man, and he just it's really a touch pass, and sometimes on them touch passes, they'll float on you. And he had him open, and you can see Clark, he just pounded the turf because he knew he had him.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line with 3:21 to go. Second quarter, 14-6, Acalanes. And, Steve, as we mentioned, trying to win their first ever North Coast Section title. This is a big game.
And doing a great job. Look for Clark to roll out to the right. Use his athleticism, Dan, to get out to the right and make something happen with his feet or his arm.
Well, he's got 2 wide receivers over there. Doherty comes in motion towards Clark. Clark straight drop back, throws into the flat. He's got Gleason with a floater. And Gleason, a good catch, but a short run tackled by Acrop at the 27-yard line. Going to bring up a big decision here. Do you go for the field goal, Steve? Do you go for it here? I think you have to go for it on 4th and about 6.
Yeah, because you're looking at about a 45-yard field goal here, Dan, and so they're going to go.
I don't think that after last week, I think Clark probably has range of about 35 to 40 yards.
Yeah.
So they will go for it on 4th and 6 from the 26-yard line with 2:42 to go.
July split left out here.
Clark to throw. Looks. Throws. Oh, that's pass interference.
Yep. Oh, boy, here comes flags. Boy.
There's more flags than at the last United Nations meeting.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
and that didn't build well for Iraq, did it?
No, it didn't. or bode well either.
Yeah, did I say build?
Build well. There was about 6 flags. Let's take a look at this. There's the call, pass interference. But you can see they ran that same little play to Gleason.
Right.
This time Gleason got horse collared by someone, Steve. They just give him a little horse collar. Watch this. Watch this on the replay.
You like that horse collar?
I like
thing.
horse collar.
I know you do. Let's see what this guy's got to say.
Pass interference. Defense.
half the distance to the goal line, automatic, first down.
Do they got like a factory where they get these refs out of, you know? Let's watch this right here. There's Clark. And it's kind of floating on him again there.
Right there, A-Crop. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't take a guy's head with it if you're not going to.
Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. The ball at the 13-yard line for Acalanes. The second big penalty that saved Acalanes.
Yes.
Their offense as they've moved into the red zone. Draw play to O'Neal. And O'Neal, Pippo was there and drug him down at the 10-yard line. O'Neal with a nice gain of 4. O'Neal doing his job tonight.
And O'Neal's hurt right now. O'Neal's hurt, Dan.
Oh, no.
He just went down. He's really hurt.
Timeout on the field. I think that's the kind of thing that he might have a cramp, because usually you don't get right up and run on a sprain.
I think it might be an ankle, Dan.
Really?
Yeah, I think it might be an ankle.
Usually you don't get up and run on a sprained ankle. It's usually a cramp, but we'll see. He don't want to talk to anyone. No. Get away from me.
You know what that guy is? That guy's a stud right there.
He is. 68 yards rushing for O'Neal. He's
going home.
He's going home.
I've had enough.
He doesn't even want to see the trainer.
You know what, Dan? You're probably right. It's a cramp. That's how he's responding.
The motion man is Nunn, who's in the game.
Look at this.
Oh, that's a fumble. And Los Lomas has it.
Yes. What a hit. What a hit.
And you know what, Steve? That injury could have played a big part in that.
Well, it
who
did.
knows what play they might have ran if O'Neal was healthy. Let's get another look at
Miller, I think. Miller came up with a 55. Let's look at the hit right here, Dan. Somebody just busted through right here and just levels. And what a great hit. He took the inside trail. I got to get that number.
Who is that? It's
8.
Bonacorsi.
Bonacorsi, what a great play by him. I'm glad we were able to get that number to give him credit. What a huge play in this first half. And there's Miller, he's fired up.
He hammered Gleason, the ball came loose, and then Miller and Lowe fought for it.
That's right.
Actually didn't matter because they're the same guy, same team. It's their ball with a minute 51 to go. Los Lomas 14-6 here in the second quarter, and now they have a minute 51 to try to go down quick strike and even this ball game up. Draw play. This is Nachman, and Nachman a good gain and a first down out to the 30-yard line.
This depends on the spot here, Dan. I don't know if they're going to measure this or not. Where he's spotted on this far side. Oh, they're going to move the chains right here. That's going to stop the clock. That gives him a little time. Daniel Nachman, what a great career he's had at Los Lomas, Dan.
He's been we've seen a lot of these guys in a lot of these games that we've brought you, and they've been a fun team to watch.
Yes,
I told
they really
Coach
have.
Longero that tonight we're going to miss these guys, but we'll see them again next year with some of the great returners. Here's a pass, far sideline. That's Lawliger. He's going to be the quarterback next year.
Well,
and he threw the big pass last week.
Yep.
Now, this is the Los Lomas we know and love.
That's right. And you know what? We know and love Acalanes now, too.
We do. We love them all, but this is 2 plays, 30 yards. We only need 3 more. The game will be tied.
This is actually a love station, people, to show,
As a matter of fact, Steve, I was telling them, this league reminds me of the old WAC. You don't know what's going to happen from week to week, but the top 5 or 6 teams can just play some crazy ball games. Lewis to throw. Throws sideline to Davis, incomplete. With a minute 7 to go in the first half, 14-6, Steve. Well, we have an opportunity. We were talking. You said you like Acalanes. Let's talk about their coaching staff.
Let's talk about their coaching staff.
Ron Thompson went to Hayward State, head coach here at Los Lomas in 98-99, and now he's the head coach at Acalanes.
He also went to St. Mary's High School.
That's right. Bert Bertiro, Roger Fernando, Randy Takahashi, Alex G., and there's Randy.
There's Randy.
Ron Rissy, Ron Thompson, Ron Martin's a JV coach. John Nickerson's the principal at Acalanes High School. Thanks a lot for all your great help this year at Acalanes. Little quarterback draw by Lewis, and Lewis has blocking, and he's got room down the sideline. Lewis out of bounds, 25-yard line, and Los Lomas, just like that in 4 plays, Steve, is in business.
And that's what they do. That's why they're so explosive. There's the Los Lomas crowd, and that's what Lewis brings to the table.
That's true. He does kind of got a little Michael Vick in him.
Oh, he's got a lot of Michael Vick in him.
He doesn't have all of Michael Vick because Michael Vick's still a lot faster than this.
Yes, he is. but look at this right here. He just surveys the field, goes, well, I'm going. And right here he picks up a pretty good block downfield by nobody, but he makes a nice move anyway.
And right there in that picture, Steve, all those guys but Lewis are coming back for Los Lomas. So Los Lomas should have some good talent next year. And in 2 years, they're going to have a new field, and next year Acalanes is going to have a new field. So we're going to have a lot of great places to go and bring you football. And a penalty flag comes in late. That was Davis. I think that's Davis's first catch of the night.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to have a penalty here, and we'll have to wait for the call.
You might get a face mask, Dan. I don't know if it's... Oh, no, you're going to get a legal shot in the back there.
Or block in the back,
Yeah.
or hit in the back.
Yeah.
That flag came in from the back judge with 51 seconds to go second quarter, 14-6 Acalanes here. Here's
During
the
the
call.
run, block in the back, above the waist, against the offense. Still first down.
Let's see on this replay if we can see this, Steve. It should come right here.
Just watch top of your screen. Oh, right there, Swisher. I think Swisher did it a little bit earlier, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell. But
Clock running. The ball moved back to the 33-yard line. Lewis throws, and Lawliger was far sideline incomplete. He was in between two Acalanes Dons. Number 2 Sater was there. Number 66 Bissell was there. 33 seconds to go, Steve. 2nd and 17 for Los Lomas.
hey, you know what? Jackson keeps putting stats up against. Don't look over there. He keeps putting stats up the window. Just act like you don't see him.
He's our stat guy.
Oh, okay.
73 yards rushing for Lewis, which is a big stat. 54 yards passing. He's really been the star of the game
Yes,
for
he
Los
has.
Lomas tonight.
And like you said, he just took matters in his own hands and said, okay, I'm going to have to lead this team, get him back in the game.
4 wide receivers in the game for Los Lomas on 2nd down. Lewis, another quarterback draw. Can he get outside? No. Tripped up. Short gain about 5. Number 56 was there for Acalanes, Patrick White.
Clock's running down with 28 seconds and counting.
I'm surprised they're not using a timeout right here.
Yeah, I think what you'll see right here, it's a big 3rd down call. You think they'll talk it over.
Lewis to throw. 3rd down. Throws. Sideline. Davis makes the catch. Davis out of bounds at the 12-yard line with 14 seconds to go.
Then again, what's there to talk about?
But it's going to bring up no, that's a 1st down. Yeah, okay, 1st down.
Yeah.
I was looking at the far sideline.
Yeah, and right here it is. Here's Lewis. And right now, you know what? They're keeping an extra back in to give him protection, and it's working, Dan. There's Clark on the tackle, running him out of bounds. Davis, 2 great athletes right there, 2 great careers.
I take that back. It's out of bounds at the 17-yard line. I think I was right the first time.
Okay, you were
I'm
right. It's a
arguing
little
with
short.
myself, Steve.
That's okay, Dan. You've done that before.
Timeout Los Lomas. The ball's at the 17, 4th and 2 with 14 seconds to go. Now, this is an interesting call here. Do you take the easy points, make it 14-9, or do you go for it here with only 14 seconds to go? Additional friends of the program as we take a look at the cheerleaders. Fine Things, Aladino's Pizza, American Plumbing, Straight Line Builders, the New Mecca Cafe, Furtado Heating and Air. Lee Home Sales, Delta RC Raceway and Hobby Shop, Dragon's Lair at Rivertown, Delta Bay Waterproofing, Performance Chiropractic, and Communications Buildings of America.
And can we get back to them cheerleaders for Ann Luke? There we go. There's the cheerleaders of Los Lomas. Look at, they're all excited. Look at them.
You'd be excited, too, if your team was playing in the championship game, Steve. This is the pinnacle.
Let me tell you what I'm excited about. I'm excited when I go in the refrigerator to get some ice cream. It doesn't take a whole lot for me.
You're excited if you wake up in the sunshine.
That's right, Daniel. You know, life is just, go ahead, Dan. Do business.
If this game turns out to be as exciting as we think we are, you can purchase your copy of the Game of the Week. Memories created today, remembered for a lifetime, $25 per tape. Call 933-6264. Ask for Metal Matt, and he's got Dio coming up next.
Cool. Hey, Dan, can I do that next time?
Yes, you
okay.
can.
Can I?
Here's
okay.
the play. Lewis, they're going for it on 4th down. Has a receiver in the flat.
Oh,
Knockman, touchdown Los Lomas.
Wow.
8 seconds to go in the first half. 2-point conversion coming, and with that conversion, we could be tied at halftime. This has been the game of 2 quarters.
That's right.
All
That's
Acalanes
right.
in the first quarter, all Los Lomas
That's
in the
right.
second quarter.
And Dan, we get to do it all again tomorrow.
I know.
This is fun.
It's going to be great, folks. We'll be off the air for about 3 weeks, and then we start our basketball program.
And they're going for 2, Daniel. But tomorrow, is that going to be exciting?
It's going to be great. Both these games are great.
I mean, this is a great game, too.
I tell you, Acalanes brought a lot of people here tonight. They've almost filled up the far stands here, and that's very impressive.
I mean, you talk about Monte Vista, San Ramon Valley. It's like the OK Corral. They're going down. There's going to be some guns flying, and there's going to be people going around, and then defensive backs going to be like hiccups catching butterflies.
Lewis. Plenty of time. Throws. Swisher over the middle. Oh, did he get in?
No.
Oh, what a play.
What a hit.
It looked like he was there in Bissell the Missile.
Bissell the Missile, and number 31 was in on there, too. Let's don't shortchange Kevin Joyce. Kevin Joyce was in on it, and I don't.
Bissell the Missile made that, I think. Let's get a replay.
I think they both were in on it.
All right, let's
look
look
at the number
touchdown.
31's getting hugged right there. I say 31
okay,
was in
it
on
was
it.
Joyce.
Joyce,
Here's
watch
the
31.
touchdown.
Okay, here's a touchdown out in the flat to Knockman, and right here he's just got too much speed. And he goes, look at this. This ball is over. What a great career he's had.
touchdown. Now let's take a look at this. This is a great play. Lewis held it for as long as he could.
And you know, Dan, you look like, oh boy, you call it, it's a delayed squeeze, it clears out, and right here you think you're in business. 31. How about both of them?
It was.
But it was Bissell, both
Bissell
but both
and
of
Joyce.
them. Both of them. Let's give them both
Man,
credit.
great camera work, guys, on that one.
Yep.
Unbelievable. 14-12, but hey, Los Lomas is back in it. We said they had to come down and score. They have.
They have. And you know what? This is going to be a great finish, and this is what high school football is all about, Dan. And boy, I tell you what, we got some great athletes in the Bay Area in this high school gig that we're doing. This is a lot of fun.
We've seen a lot of great ones.
We've seen a lot of great ones.
I'm already looking ahead to next year's schedule.
Did you see the guy next door to us, the ex-Cal quarterback?
Oh, is Pulaski?
Pulaski's here. Yeah, I talked to him. I go, hi, Steve. Look at this, Dan.
It's Mike.
Yeah, that's Mike. No, I said hi, Mike. He said, yeah, he don't know me. I like this.
0.7 seconds to go after that return out to the 43-yard line. You can see number 14, Schneider, was there. He's the kicker, and he was in on the tackle.
Yeah, and he's not very happy about having a tackle because I'll kick, but I ain't tackling. I've seen them guys on TV. They don't got a tackle. They kick and they get out of the way.
This should be the last play here of the second quarter.
Well, you know, Dan, with 0.7 seconds, you are a genius. You know what? I mean, you're probably right. It probably is the last play, Daniel. He's giving me the look, folks. I didn't know we were married. I didn't know you would give me the married look.
Oh, well. Think again.
Okay, I just got it. Go ahead, Dan.
This is it. You know, Clark doesn't have the strongest arm either. I don't know if he can launch one in the end zone, but you might as well try.
You might get a defensive penalty. Who knows?
Throws over the middle, and for July it's incomplete, and that'll wrap it up. No penalty flags. That'll do it. 14-12 Acalanes going to halftime. Steve, give us your impressions of the first half.
Dan, I think it's just like you said, Acalanes, the whole first quarter, they came out, they scored boom, boom. First two times they had the ball, the Knights held on. They came back slowly but surely. They had that drive where they got fourth down conversions to keep the drive going, and then they scored there late with Nachman, and I'll tell you what, we got a game.
14-12 Acalanes over Los Lomas at halftime. We'll be back with the halftime activities after this on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from A&D Creative Trophies. They specialize in awards, Letterman jackets, embroidery, and team trophies. Located on West 6th Street in Antioch. Simply the best selection, price, and service. That's A&B Creative Trophies of Antioch. Mention the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week and receive 5% off your next order. Mazzei, Pontiac, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and GMC Truck Company on West 10th Street. For over 50 years, Matt Mazzei and his courteous, no-pressure sales staff has helped thousands find the right car or truck for their particular budget and needs. That's Mazzei's in Antioch, the biggest little auto dealer in the West. Thanks again to all our friends from AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
Authentic Italian atmosphere.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Room for the whole family.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Pizza, beer, sports.
Rocco's!
Great place for your next team party.
Rocco's.
The best pizza in the East Bay.
Rocco's.
Your table is always ready at Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria at the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek.
Hi, Frankie. It's Christy. Do you want to come over for a swim?
Wow, I'll be right over. What are you doing, Christy?
Oh, hi, Frankie. My oil's really dirty.
In Walnut Creek, flowers. What do you want your flowers to say?
Back at Diablo Valley College, the halftime score, Acalanes 14 and Los Lomas 12. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez with you tonight. North Coast Section 2A championship game. And, Steve, we're going to take a look at the highlights of the first half. It was a tale of two quarters.
Yes, it really was, Dan. And the Dons came out like gangbusters right here. And here's Clark. This is what he does best. Athletic ability, eludes a guy. And look at this. Comes across the grain right here, and boom, nice catch by Doherty for a touchdown, puts him on the board.
5-yard pass from Clark to Doherty, 7-0 Acalanes, and then real quickly right back. They were up 14-0 after O'Neal scored on this 2-yard run.
Yes, and early on, Acalanes' offensive line, Dan, was doing a great job of moving the Los Lomas defense. So
here's Nachman. Los Lomas finally got on the board in the second quarter, but they missed the extra point, made it 14-6, and that could still come back to haunt them.
It really could.
Because they've missed both the extra points, but then there was the big turnover.
And this is huge.
And here it is right here. Great hit by Bonacorsi.
Yeah, Bonacorsi right here, and here's Miller. He gets on it, and he cleans up the rest of it right there. And, boy, what a big turnover that was right there, because they were going in. They were kind of taking the momentum away. Big momentum swinger.
A minute 44, they went down the field, and on this pass from Lewis to Lolliger, excuse me, this isn't Lolliger, this is Nachman.
Yes, and they cash in, Daniel, on the turnover right there, and they make it a gain. They get right back into it. That's a big swing right there. That's about a 12-point swing, Dan, going the other direction.
Here's the stats in the first half, pretty even. Los Lomas has rushed for 106, passed for 66, 172 total with 11 first downs. Acalanes with 98 yards rushing, 88 passing, very balanced, 186 total yards and 14 first downs. Should be a great second half as Acalanes tries to win their first ever North Coast Section 2A title. Los Lomas is going for their second 2A title, Steve, and we'll be back to bring you the second half after this on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems and stadium-style seating. Catch the back-to-school movie special at their Pittsburgh location with rolled-back admission prices and a free concession coupon each week on the Brendan Pittsburgh website page. And RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez. RSC offers a wide variety of equipment specific to the petrochemical industry, as well as the general contractor and homeowner. We deliver straight to the site and have a fully trained staff of mechanics and office personnel to fit every need. That's Rental Service Corporation, 4030 Pacheco Boulevard in Martinez. Thanks again to all our friends from the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
Hey, get me out of here! Help! Help! Help!
Wow, a filter that talks.
Wow, a human that doesn't know throwing an oil filter in the garbage can will pollute our landfills and our environment.
I've got a better plan for the future of Mr. Filter. After changing your oil and filter, place the filter in a sealed plastic bag. Make sure it doesn't leak, and take it to a certified used oil and filter collection center. They will then properly dispose of Mr. Filter in an environmentally friendly way.
Hey, wait a second, don't close that door, don't close it! Whoa!
Recycle your used oil filters for a cleaner future. For more information, call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out my website at www.funnelhead.com.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Fine Things, Italian charm bracelets, Yankee Candle, Willow Tree Angels, and beautiful gifts. Wonderful cards in downtown Antioch. Aladino's Pizza, located on Sunset Drive, right off the Hillcrest exit. Aladino's Pizza has big screen satellite TV for all the big sporting events. Antioch's finest pizzeria. American Plumbing, your plumbing specialist on G Street in downtown Antioch. Sales, repairs, and emergency service. That's American Plumbing, serving East and Central Contra Costa County. Straight Line Builders, specializing in room additions, add-ons, and fencing. Let Jim Carey, a licensed general contractor, do the job right the first time. The new Mecca Cafe on Railroad Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh, serving Contra Costa and beyond for over 30 years. Eat in or order to go. Guillermo and his crew cook with pride. Furtado Heating and Air, sheet metal fabrication for your residential, commercial, and industrial needs on West 10th Street in Antioch. Thanks again to all our friends from the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
Look at her, man. You're right. You don't stand a chance. I'll be right back.
Journeys Flowers, 24-hour phone service, 7 days a week. Call 1-888-400-ROSE.
These are gorgeous.
Would you like to go out sometime?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Hi,
Can I get those right over there? Yeah, those are 10.
Jory's Flowers, what do you want your flowers to say?
I'm with Knights coach Doug Longero, and coach, looking a little dicey there for your team. Acalanes appear to be going in for their third score, then Bonacorsi comes up with a big hit. Tell us about the play and how it impacts the game.
It's a tempo changer. I mean, we get a score right before half, we get the ball back in the second half, so we're looking forward to the second half. We still got to get back to basic fundamentals on defense and play a better half of football.
Yeah, it's been a tough time so far stopping the Acalanes offense until that play. How do you get them stopped better in the second half?
It comes down to just tackling and hustle, so I think we'll be all right in the second half.
Coach, thank you very much. Guys, back to you.
Coach Longero is he's a fun guy, always to talk to, always ready for me, and he's one of those guys I like about Coach. He's always in his office about 2:30. He's always there. He answers the phone, and I get what I need out of those guys.
And you know what, Dan, you do such a great job of getting a hold of these coaches, and I know you really appreciate when a coach goes out of his way to give you what you want, because we're just trying to get more information to put out on the field here for the kids, and usually most everybody's pretty good to you from what I hear.
Most of them are. I don't have too many problems. I even got some guys giving me their home phone numbers.
Wow.
I know that, because you know one thing.
And that don't happen very often.
They told me don't get to Sanchez.
Oh, no. What would I want it for? Unless they're going to, I don't know what time they're barbecuing.
Individually, Clark threw for 88 yards for Acalanes. O'Neill rushed 12 times for 68 yards, and July caught 4 passes for 74 yards as we track the 3 guys we talked to in the about in the intro. For Los Lomas, Lewis passed for 66, ran for 78 on 9 carries. Nachman had 7 carries for 28 yards, and Davis 2 catches for 20 yards. Kick returns in the first half. Acalanes averaging 19.3, return Los Lomas 13, courtesy of Dave Jackson. Brendan Swisher, as you, well, I don't think that we were going to use that stat right now, Steve. 3 penalties against Los Lomas for 40 yards, none against Acalanes. As we get ready for the second half, Los Lomas will get the ball back, and they've really had the ball almost ever since the second quarter changeover. Yes. They've had the ball.
They really have, Dan, and really that was a big momentum swinger, that fumble recovery right there by Miller. Should be an exciting second half. Here we go. Hold on to your hats. This is going to be fun.
There's Joe Davis, the great wide receiver, playing his final varsity game tonight for Los Lomas.
Held to a couple catches so far. Look for him to try to rebound in the second half.
And this kick comes to one of the up men. This is Yamashita, and Yamashita takes it at the 15, goes far sideline, has a hole, still on his feet. Yamashita is still on his feet at the 41, tackled far sideline by Dixon. 30-yard return for Yamashita. He's done very nicely returning the ball tonight, and he's just a sophomore.
Yes, James, I can't even say it. I tried to say it. I can't do it. I'll just go ahead, Dan. Take this replay because I can't say the guy's name.
Yamashita.
Yamashita! Right here, left-hand side, right here. He gets taken off, and right here he picks up there's a nice block by the number 10. He kind of gets knocked into the front row, but he does his job and gives him a little lane.
Dustin Lavalier
made a nice little block right there.
The ball is spotted at the 41-yard line. Los Lomas down by 2, and they have controlled the ball game here ever since the second quarter. They trail by 2, 14-12, handoff to Nachman, and Nachman gets a couple on first down.
And big number 50, your player that you really like a lot, Dan. Dilmer, is that his name?
Deemer.
You know what? What's my name? My God, I'm having a terrible night tonight. You know, what can I do? You know, sometimes you wake up with the sunshine.
I will say though, and someone has said this about the English language, one name looks this. It all has to be the same. In other languages, that you don't see a name the same and pronounce it 2 different ways.
Yeah, but I have trouble with Smith and stuff. I don't know.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Lewis, very patient, really started to play well in the second quarter, rushing and passing, and I think he took too much time.
Could have. There's flags all over.
Steve, Los Lomas 10-2 on the year, as we mentioned, beat Campolindo last week 21-14, and avenged a loss from last year to Campolindo.
Dead ball, full start against the offense. Second down.
And they have a great rivalry with Campolindo as well.
Yes, they do.
They won a game last year in overtime at Campolindo, lost the playoff game at home, lost this year at home, even though they were ahead 20-19 late in that game, and then last week beat them 21-14. Lewis was knocked out. The younger Lolliger replaced him. Nachman, as always, a big game with 2 touchdowns. Lewis threw for 118 yards. And tonight, once again, all these great players that we've watched so much. Oh, they didn't have a safety. Look at Dixon had to go back and play safety on this play. And they throw underneath on a slant to Swisher, and it's incomplete. As number 4, Lawrence, came up on defense. You saw Dixon that time. They would have had no one deep in that
That's
defense.
right. And, you know, that was a real weird look because they had Kevin Lowe in the backfield as a blocker. They swung him out wide. I can't even say wide right.
God, that sounds like
Well, you know what?
He had
I
wide,
actually can understand that.
He had wide white.
He was wide white. You Wasco de
Yeah, he went wide white with that
You were killing me. How did they ever hand you a diploma?
Well, they actually, it was. I'll have to tell you that story someday.
Thank you. Over pie tonight. I'll take cherry. Quarterback draw, Lewis, and Lewis this time is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. There was a couple of
Can you tell me who
laws,
made that
laws
tackle?
broken. It was Deemer.
And Deemer, when he gets a hold of you, it's pretty much over.
Loss of 1 on the play, 4th and 15, and a punting situation for the night.
Let's watch Deemer right here. He pays off the block from low, and right here he gets Lewis, says, you know what, I'm going to have none of this right here. This is just ridiculous. That's sick.
I've had it with you guys.
That's sick right
We
there.
haven't had the ball in the last 6 minutes of the game. 10-14 to go here in the third quarter, 14-12 Acalanes. Kuhn to kick. And this is a short punt that's going to land at the 35, take a bounce, and it'd be down by Lolliger at the 33-yard line. Acalanes will take over. We haven't seen the Acalanes offense for a while, Steve.
No, we haven't, Dan. And the last time we seen him, they had a real nice drive that went down the field. But you're going to take care of business, Daniel.
The AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, the North Coast Section Championships, are brought to you by great friends of the program, and they include Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Brandon Theaters in Concord and Pittsburgh, Jory's Flowers of Concord and Walnut Creek, and the Contra Costa Clean Water.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. If we took Jackson, if we took him to the fair, we could sell tickets and people would, pay to look
I
at
want
that.
to get a photo of this.
Here you go,
He's
Daniel.
killing me over here. Handoff on first down to O'Neill and straight ahead for about 6.
And it's good to see you.
I want to say it was the Contra Costa Clean Water Program.
I know
and
what
Mr.
you were trying to
Funnelhead.
say. Then you looked at
Jackson's
Jackson,
over there
it was pretty much
making
over.
faces. Can we get a shot of this, Matt, of how the booth is set up and show you where Jackson's doing to us here in the next break? Can you get the guys turned around to get a shot? There. Okay, now move over. Pan over. Pan over that way. See, there's Jackson. He's behind glass. This is glass right here.
And he's trying to talk to us.
And he's trying to tell us stuff, and he's killing me.
Jeez.
2nd and 6. Handoff O'Neill. This looks like the first quarter all
Yes,
over
it
again.
does. And you know, Dan, it's good to see Tim O'Neill back there because they really need him on that offensive attack to have any chance right here. Let's watch it right here, Dan. Scroggy on the left side. That's defense. I better go to offense. On the left side, Dan. Patrick White, he's an all-league second-teamer. He's opening up a hole. Dan Dixon, the tight end. I can't say his name either. Samina. Adam. He does a great job at the center.
And I feel like your teacher, not your partner.
Well, you are my partner, but you're teaching me a whole lot as we go along.
I love it. I make these cheat sheets for you, and you still don't get them.
I know.
I love it. O'Neill, first down. And I'll tell you, he very seldom ever loses yardage.
No, and the thing about it is, Dan, you look up, and even when the run doesn't look that pretty, he's got 4 or 5 yards. He's one of them runners that you look at him and you think that, nothing's happening. You look up, oh, it's 2nd and 5.
228 attempts in the regular season for 1,153 yards and 13 touchdowns. And there's Coach Thompson, who went to Cal State Hayward, and he's having a good time. He's trying to get his teaching credentials so he can become a teacher.
I think this Tim O'Neill is the most underrated running back in the East Bay.
Sideline pass to July, incomplete. And that pass would have been incomplete in August and September as well, Steve.
Right, or like on my report card on math in my senior year. That was a big I.
Every time I say his name, even when I'm watching the game at home and I see July, I want to say like in August, in September, in October.
I know.
It's like
it's too easy.
He spells it. It looks like Galay. And we won't get into that any farther.
In the story, moving forward.
He only in the regular season caught 18 passes for 272 yards and 2 touchdowns. They really relied on the run more early in the season when Clark.
But he really came on in the postseason, really big time.
3rd and 5. Clark straight ahead. And Clark is stopped short of the first down. Now, last week against Miramani, virtually every time he needed to get yardage, he did.
He did. He picked it up. And you know what, Dan? They're going to go for it right here. This short end of the field. They're on the 42 right here. Look for them to go for it. They're not going to punt. They're not even thinking about punt right here.
I'd like to see a replay of this just to tell you who made the tackle for Los Lomas. Let's check this real quick. Here it is.
And right here, here's Clark. He just goes back, and right there, he doesn't like what he sees and just says, okay, I'm going to take off here.
Looks like Pippo came in, and is that Swisher? I think
Swisher, number 7 on the back, had him from.
Big 4th down, 4th and 2.
Swisher's playing a good game defensive-wise for Los Lomas.
Ball to 42. Oh.
Then they got back.
No, they got back. Handoff. And Neal didn't get there.
No.
He got
not even close.
Guess who? Do I have to tell you?
Kevin Lowe.
Kevin Lowe. Kevin Lowe is one of the great linebackers in this area, very active.
And
he made a
Patrick
great
Clancy,
tackle.
number 4, he helped clean up the mess too. There's a Los Lomas people over there.
Big stop on 4th down. You know, in a situation like that, you give them a short field now. They got the ball at the 42-yard line. If you'd have punted, they maybe would have had it at the 20. So it's about a 20-yard swing.
And you know what I mean? Let's just watch it right here. Well, look at number 54. He helps set it up too. He plugs a hole. And right there, that's just aggressive defense right there. There's Miller. There's Lowe. There's Lowe and Miller.
One of their linemen
Miller
ran
Lowe.
right by Lowe and gave him that lane to get in there. Yamashita on 1st down. And I'll tell you, there's been some impressive tackling and falling tonight.
Yes, there has, Daniel.
Game. And Yamashita that time came around the right side and was tackled at
by
the
the missile.
46-yard line. Bissell the missile there. I wonder if they call him Bissell the missile
Well,
now.
sure they do, because Linigan, he got a nickname from you. So.
Well, did you see what Coach Thompson said in the paper? One of the teachers came up to him, or around the school. They were saying, so did they win the game? And the guy goes, well, yeah, didn't you read the paper? He goes, I thought it was a misprint. They beat Miramani. 3-yard gain. Dave Jackson tells me. Clay Callum said he was ready to go to the parade, but they didn't have it.
They didn't have one.
They didn't have one down Mont.
They will have one tonight.
Yeah, waiting for tonight's game. 2nd and 7. 6:56 to go, 3rd quarter. 2-point Acalanes lead. Lewis sets up
this
the
is
screen
set
to
up big
Swisher.
time.
He's got guys out in front, and Swisher straight ahead. 1st down, Los Lomas. Bissell was there with Deemer.
Deemer's there, and Deemer put a little lick there on Swisher. But one thing about Brandon Swisher I like is that he just puts his head down and says, you know, I'm not going to get fancy on this right here. And right there, there's a fake to Knockman. You got to respect that. And look at this setup right here. They release. The line release. You can't see it in your left-hand side here, but he's got Lyman in front of him. And right here, look at this. Protect the ball. Here's Clark. I'll hit him low. Here comes some help.
Great camera work.
Great camera work.
Just fantastic camera work.
We're really getting scary here week in and week out. I got people tell me, you know, you get you guys out of the booth, you're almost NFL.
you guys got John and Al in the booth, you guys would be really, really good. Lewis on 1st down around the left side. He's ran this play 3 or 4 times tonight.
Dan, wouldn't you call that rumbling, stumbling, and mumbling right there?
That was kind of rumbling, stumbling, bumbling.
And then on that left-hand side with Lewis, he's really liked it. Let's watch it right here, Dan. And there's just like nobody there. It's just like collapses that whole wall. That left side of Los Lomas has done a great job with Bonacorsi and Miller. As a tight end, Bonacorsi's really been sealing off over there.
None of the linemen are touching Lewis hardly. He's getting into the area of the linebackers, the safeties when he makes those runs. He has 85 yards rushing here through 2.5 quarters. As we have 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, 14-12. Acalanes and Lewis that time, maybe 2. He's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the spot. I think it's a little short, Dan. I think you're going to call that a little bit right.
Steve, as I mentioned in the first half, Acalanes is expected to get their. They gave him a spot on the 1st down.
Yeah, it was close. It depended on the spot. And right here, you know, Lewis, he's just been kind of just saying, okay, I'll take the bull by the horns here.
Guy with a concussion last week.
That's true.
Acalanes is going to get their new field next year, like Miramani's, and then in 2 years, Campolindo is going to get theirs next year, and then Los Lomas is going to get it in 2 years.
Here's another angle right here, Dan. This replay, good job in the booth. And that's a Kevin in the truck. We got a booth. We got a good job in the truck. Kevin Wu. He woos me every week.
Johnny Wu.
Johnny Wu? Who's Kevin Wu?
It's Kevin Lowe's
Kevin
cousin.
Lowe. Oh, jeez. And there's a flag on this one, Dan. I see that.
How much coffee did you drink today? That's the question.
I need some coffee, Daniel.
A penalty on Los Lomas. That was Lewis once again. Lewis is just taking over right now. There is a it's amazing. Lewis, I don't even know if he's calling play. He's just going up there and going me to the left, me to the right, me up the middle.
Let's see what he says.
Holding, offense, 1st down.
And can I say our Mike is holding up very well tonight.
It's holding up tonight.
There's Coach Longero.
He's probably not holding up as well.
Oh, he said something right there that I don't think my pastor Sunday's going to say.
Oh, boy. 5 for 55 in the penalty department for Los Lomas tonight. And Acalanes has yet to be penalized in this game with only 1 turnover in the game, and that's Acalanes' fumble back in the 2nd quarter. So very interesting game tonight. 14-12. They throw to Swisher over the middle. It's incomplete. Anthony Lawrence there with the coverage once again. You know, that play is there.
Yes, it is.
They've ran it, and they're just not getting the ball in the hands of the receivers.
Well, let me tell you why that play. I mean, it's there, but let me tell you why it didn't work. Because Dan Dixon just shot through and jumped up. Let's watch number 41 right here, Dan. Let's look out here on the outside. Look at this right here. Look at that pressure. Huh?
He looked like the Undertaker going after the Rock.
That's
on that
right.
play
And that's the only reason why that play didn't work, because that's what you call pressure. And you see how he jumped back and did it again two times in a row?
He didn't do one of your things where you like, hey.
Oh, yeah, no, but he did like, he was so good, he did it, then jumped back and did it again. That was a lie. That's unbelievable.
Steve, it's our first location of the night. It's second.
It is second and In-N-Out Burger.
In San Ramon?
In San Ramon. Look at this.
Oh, they throw the ball in the middle for Swisher, nearly intercepted by Dixon. Dixon's going crazy tonight.
Very, very active.
My favorite name, Dan.
Dan Dixon, from the Dixon family.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. And he likes, he's a Sagittarius. He likes working in the garden, and he likes watching Dr. Phil on weekends. Go ahead, David.
You are out of it. Oh, my God. You're incredible. And he's out of Lafayette.
And he's out of Lafayette, Indiana.
Third, and a more realistic spot this time. Third and Safeway down on Monument.
On Monument. There you go. That's a good call, Daniel. And look at Dixon.
Lewis to throw. Has time. Goes to the end zone. Receiver. Touchdown! Yamashita! Oh, my goodness, he threw that ball on a line. 42 yards.
What a great throw by Lewis, Dan. And what a great catch. He really adjusted to the ball. Great job right there, Dan. Big time play.
We're going to show the replay after the two-point conversion. It's 18-14. Los Lomas, and they have really taken over the ball game, as we mentioned, since early in the second quarter. And that time, Lewis had plenty of time on the. He's just deadly when he can roll to his right like that.
He really is, Dan. And you know he's such an optional quarterback, you know, and he's so skilled. So they go for two. Take it, Dan. Do your thing.
Here we go. 4:25 to go here in the third quarter. 18-14 after the touchdown, and then number 51, Karajian, jumped. And it's going to move them back 5 yards. They're going to have to go for a two-point conversion from about the 7-yard line.
Well, Dan,
dead ball. Full start against the offense.
I'm going to have to talk to that Ollie and make sure he doesn't false start again.
That's Armin.
Armin?
Kazaz is Ali.
Well, then
Karajian
I'm going to.
Armin.
Who's this?
Armin Karajian, number 51, the guy who jumped. Kazaz is 58, the center. Ali Kazaz.
Who am I?
Some buffoon we let up here every week. Two-point conversion. Lewis, again, just calls his own number. Then he throws, pitches one. That was a, Steve, there's words for that we can't even come up with.
You have the end right there? Nothing, because I've never seen that like it my whole entire life.
Wait, there's a penalty. Is there a penalty flag on the play? No, there's no penalty on the play. First of all, let's get a replay of the touchdown, then a replay of the extra point, then we'll go down to Tony. So let's take a look at that touchdown.
Here it is.
Dave Jackson was screaming at me, who caught this, who caught this? I said it was Yamashita.
And if you notice, Dixon, 54, blocked his man into Dixon and picked him off. It is Yamashita.
It is Yamashita.
Number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12.
42 yards. It's Yamashita. Number 12 makes the touchdown reception.
Yep.
Now, the extra point looks like the first time a JFL team ran the option.
That's right.
Well, we're going to send it to Tony, then we'll look at the extra point. Let's send it down the sideline to Tony.
Hey, guys, that Knights defense starting to assert itself a little bit. First they got the forced fumble, then they got the stop on fourth down. They really begun to pick up the offense. Now, this is a defense, guys, that over the past 2 months have only given up about 10 points a game. They really righted the ship and got their team back in the ball game, and it looks just like last week, guys. Could be another photo finish. Guys?
Let's see do we have that extra point? You want to look at it after the touchdown? Okay, after the kick we'll look at it. But Steve, that looked more like the San Jose Earthquakes than it looked like the Los Lomas Knights on that play. 18-14. Here's Schneider's kick, and it's a good one.
Oh boy, Schneider's got a foot.
And you know, thank you to Schneider who kicks the ball out of the end zone. Now we can look at this and maybe get some business in. Let's take a look at this two-point conversion.
And
okay,
right
here's Lewis.
Just how you draw up. Here's Lewis, and right here he says, you know what? I ain't going nowhere, so I'm going to pitch this somewhere by the mall.
And Joe Davis says,
are we playing soccer or, well, whatever.
That was brutal.
Yeah. He goes, wait a minute.
Man, that was crazy.
And right there, Dan, we got Diablo Foods.
Diablo Foods at 3615 Mount Diablo Boulevard, Lafayette. 10 Dana Plaza Concord. Thanks, a great friend of the program here on AT&T Broadband. They have great service, old-fashioned service and great foods. And
Dan Stokes down there, we want to thank him for jumping aboard. High school football.
We're not wasting any time tonight. 4:25 to go. Third quarter's a lot of cars out. Are people leaving, or is College Park having an event?
College Park's having an event over there.
And on first down, Acalanes wishes they were at College Park's event because nothing happened there. You look at all these cars over here, Steve.
Yeah.
You know, man, and I mean, no, I don't think anyone's left this game. It's 18-14 with 4 minutes to go.
Nobody's left this. It's a Metal Matt autograph session over in College Park. Metal Matt.
What's he autographing? Copies of tonight's
game? They
game?
just know he's over there. They're trying to get over there to him. He's like a cult. I don't know what he is. Looks a lot like our director, though.
Second down. Pitch to O'Neal. O'Neal's been kind of bottled up. He's had a couple of big runs early in this quarter. That time, nothing. Morang was over there. Number 16, we haven't called his number, Steve. That's a Jesse Wetherell.
And let's don't forget number big 54, Dan.
Yeah, Ryan Perrin.
Ryan
finally
Perrin
figured out how to pronounce his name.
Perrin did a great job right there. Put a lick on him. Perrin's been active. They've all been active on defense. And right now, it seems like Los Lomas is starting to smell a little bit here. They're starting to get loose. They're starting their defense is starting to, their offense is starting to loosen up a little bit. Their defense is starting to take charge.
That was Pippo. I think his jersey's torn. Who made that play. Clark throws. He's got Dixon over the middle.
Play.
First down. Dixon's at the 50. Dixon's at the 40. Dixon's at the 30. Makes a move. Dives ahead to the 24-yard line. Unbelievable. What a pass by Zach Clark.
And boy, I tell you what a great job by Acalanes' offensive line of giving them a shot to have time to throw the ball. He came underneath route, Dan. Watch this underneath route. He comes underneath, and it's just barely on the outstretched arms of Kevin Lowe right there. And right here, he gets to the outside, and it's a foot race and a great block. He got a great block there, but you got Joe Davis going up, so you know he's not going to score. But what a great job. Dixon's really had a good game here.
Davis made the tackle. 53-yard gain for Acalanes. The ball at the 24-yard line, first down. And then Clark right up the middle, quarterback draw, inside the 10, first down.
And right there, Dan, that wasn't even, you could tell by that play. I don't know if we get it on the replay. He get up, he just slap him in the, you know where, and you go because you could see it. Is that a flag on him? No, that's not a flag. But let's watch it. The offensive line. Hole. Yeah, the hole's there, and Clark, you know, the guy's a 3.8, you know, pretty smart guy. And he just says, hey, I can get 12 yards right here. I'm taking it.
3.8 running a 4.8.
Yeah.
And I think his average per carry is 5.8.
Yeah.
First down.
And I see his girlfriend. She's a 10-0.
And he does it again. Clark straight ahead. Banging ahead inside the 5. It's going to bring up a second and goal from about the 4. The entire Los Lomas student body made that tackle.
Yes, they did. Pipple's down there. Morang's down there.
Clancy. And
Bacardi Rum's down there. And
4-yard gain. Man, I think this one's another one of those that's going to be a classic.
Oh, this already is a classic.
144 yards passing for Zach Clark tonight. He has really come on. There's a timeout on the field. I want to talk a little about this. They had a quarterback early in the season, Paul Marchant.
Okay.
And Zach Clark came in and has done a great job as a relief guy for Marchant. And we've seen him over the last couple of weeks. He's a great athlete. A couple additional friends of the program, McGarry Motors, Humphreys on the Delta, Independent Copier Service, Antioch Auto Transmission, and Antioch Delta Group with Dr. Soto and Dr. Colson.
Humphreys on the Delta. I went to La Plaza for my birthday with my family the other day. They still got killer food there at the La Plaza. And great job. Go ahead, Daniel.
Pacific Pride Distribution, Joe's Food and Gas, Skips Copier, Pace Auto Sales, Narrow Road Design, Antioch Opticians, Rock Bottom Records, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Antioch Chiropractic.
Dr. Bill Riston.
Yep. Golf and Games, S&S Imports, Trident Environmental and Engineering, Antioch Armory, Pantel's Music Box, and Bestwick Insurance Company. Thanks to all of our great friends.
That's right.
For bringing you the Game of the Week. Purchase your copy of the Game of the Week. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, folks, here he is. Purchase your copy of the Game of the Week. Memories created today, remembered for a lifetime, for $25 per day. Call 925-933-6264. Do you see how I did that Hallmark thing?
That was beautiful, really. The
did
Hallmark
it touch you?
Theater is calling you right now.
Oh, memories.
Second down from the 5. Clark hands off to O'Neal. O'Neal ahead for about 3. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and goal.
Yep.
And we haven't shown this yet. Matt has all this spiffy new stuff, but he's got a new CC Rock following tonight's game. He interviewed Ronnie James Dio, formerly of Black Sabbath, formerly of Rainbow, a great solo artist, and he's going to run that tonight.
Cool.
East County on Friday nights and over here in Central County on Saturdays and Sundays following our broadcast. Steve, after next week, we're going to do San Ramon Monte Vista tomorrow. We're going to show it next week.
Okay.
And we're going to have 3 weeks off, and then we're going to pick up our basketball program.
Oh, baby.
Here we go. 3rd down. Hand off to O'Neill.
Not even close.
Didn't get there.
Nope.
Meringue was there.
That looked like Highway 4 in Hillcrest about 7:30 in the morning right there.
Next week, the North Coast Section 3A Championship, San Ramon and Monte Vista. If you saw the last one, there's no way you can miss this one. It was 46-44. That game was played 3 weeks ago tonight as a game and a time I'll never forget. And hopefully tomorrow they can play just as magical a game as they did back then.
And Dan Swisser was in on that play right there, number 7. He plugged a hole. He's been very active. They got a timeout on Acalanes, Dan, so this gives you time to do whatever it is you do. You come up with something. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, we've done a lot of business. We're going to talk about, let them do some business down at the snack bar.
They are doing business down there.
I remember coming over here, Steve, in the good old days when my dad and I used to see virtually every Antioch high school football game on the road, and they used to play over here against teams like College Park and Ignacio Valley. They actually, Antioch played one of their biggest games ever in their history against Miramani here in a turkey bowl that they won.
Yes, they did.
And always loved to come over here. They moved the Antioch-Pittsburgh game here for a few years after some of the trouble they had, some of the violence, and always a great place to come and watch high school football. Tell us what you think of the game of the week. Call 933-6264. Ask for Metal Matt. Tell him what you think, or
you tell him what you think, but don't tell him what you really think. Especially about me, I appreciate it.
O'Neill with 94 yards rushing on 20 carries tonight, near the 100-yard mark once again. This is going to be a big play. Steve, what do you do here?
Well, I'll tell you what I do. I just give it to I dance with the girl I came to the dance with. I give it to Mr. O'Neill, and I just say, you know what?
I fake it to O'Neill and roll out to the left and look for Mr. July.
See, you never agree with me.
Well, that's why it's so good.
Okay.
If we both just went,
That's true.
that'd be no fun.
Okay, so I say O'Neill, you say
fake,
July.
I say fake, roll to the right, July.
I say give it to O'Neill and get stuffed.
They might try a slant to July. He's out here with double coverage, left side. They hand off
to
touchdown. I did not see that number because I see it might be Gleason. It's whoever's laying in the end zone.
Can we get a camera shot in the end zone?
Is it O'Neill? It is O'Neill. Well, you won, Steve.
Well, thank you, Daniel.
Oh, there you go.
Pie tonight or what?
6:30 to 8.
I'm closing the gap.
O'Neill, a little 2-yard run, and he just barely squeaked into the end zone on that.
Well, Dan, you know what? Like I said, it's not who you take to the dance, it's who you leave with what counts. Did I say that? I said it now.
I went to a few dances with girls and left with you, so I don't know that was a very good option at all. Extra point attempt. This is Dixon. The spot, the kick, and he dribbles one through again. He's got that little pooch kick down.
He's got that little pooch kick, little shot.
21-18. Man, a field goal, though, would tie this one up. So
Dan,
this has some options.
This is all set up. I mean, the director right now is going, okay, perfect.
Here's the replay from the scissor lift.
And here's right here. Here's my man, the guy I called for.
Oh, he did it. Look at him on his own.
On his own.
Look at
He's
him on his own.
The guy is a rock. He's a stud. He's a rock and a stud.
Lowe was there. There's number 5, Lawliger, getting off
Lawliger there. He's getting off him.
And he just twisted his way in. A 3-yard run for O'Neill. 21-18, Acalanes, 46 seconds to go. Steve Sanchez, what more could you ask for
Not
these
very
last
much, Dan.
4 or 5 weeks of this season?
But, Dan, you know what? I just need to say something right here, and I think you're going to agree. You know, O'Neill carried the ball 228 times for 1,153 yards, 13 TDs, averaged 5.1 a carry. And you didn't hear a whole lot about the guy this year. You really didn't.
You're going to hear next year because
he's going to be back. But what a great thing to build your offense around next year.
Doherty, a 5-yard pass from Clark. O'Neill, a 2-yard run. There's the nice Acalanes sideline and all the crowd. Los Lomas, Knockman, a 2-yard run, a 14-yard pass from Lewis. And then Yamashita, a 42-yard pass from Lewis. Put them, Los Lomas ahead 18-14. And O'Neill, a 3-yard run, 21-18 with 46 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And what a ball game. And tomorrow should be a great ball game. And, Steve, after that, there's no more ball games to do. We're taking you right to the last day.
Well, you know what? We're sports fans like Huey Lewis of the News, and we're going to go right to basketball.
Here's the young Lawliger.
Oh, there's a clip.
Yeah, that was a big clip. They didn't call it.
Nope.
And Lawliger gets the return out to the 32-yard line. Number 59. We haven't called this number, Steve.
Let's call it, Dan.
Nick Core, up from the junior varsity
Nick
on
Core,
special
good
teams.
job, Nick. Way to get it on the special teams job. Your coach will be proud of you. who was the special teams coach for Acalanes, Dan? Can you tell me?
Roger Fernando.
Well, Fernando is going to like that play by that kid he brought up. He'll say, kid, you got in a championship game. You made a great play. Go have a hamburger.
Where do you come up with your material? Unbelievable. First down from the 33-yard line with 37 seconds to go. Los Lomas down by 3, setting up an exciting fourth quarter. And we've had a lot of great games at Los Lomas over the years.
Oh.
That was Mr. Deemer.
Mr. Deemer.
Otherwise known as a big pickup truck.
Yes. And number 5 was in on. Let's don't forget Derek.
Minetti. Well, Steve, remember last year why we liked what we, as a 90 yards for Lewis. We remember the first game we did with Los Lomas against College Park, as we see the replay. Remember they won that one late?
Yep,
with
that's
Steve
right.
Linnigan?
That's right.
They went down to the wire with Miramani last year. They went down the wire with Campolindo last year. They went down to the wire in a lot of the games we've done.
They really did.
Last minute with Campolindo. They're one of those teams. They're just kind of like the cardiac kids.
That's right.
Lewis is going to run out of time. That's the end of the third quarter.
Yep.
Lewis is sometimes he gets up there and it's a little bit strange at the line of scrimmage. 21-18 Acalanes at the end of 3. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from A&B Creative Trophies. They specialize in awards, Letterman jackets, embroidery, and team trophies. Located on West 6th Street in Antioch. Simply the best selection, price, and service. That's A&B Creative Trophies of Antioch. Mention the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week and receive 5% off your next order. Mazzei, Pontiac, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and GMC Truck Company on West 10th Street. For over 50 years, Matt Mazzei and his courteous, no-pressure sales staff.
Authentic Italian atmosphere.
Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez back in an absolutely riotous Diablo Valley.
Oh, really
College.
is, Dan.
You got Dave Jackson over here going crazy. Matt's yelling at us in the headset. You can't wait for cherry pie, and we're doing the 2A championship game.
I know it's just something's not right, but it's going to get really right now. It's going to get fun.
Fourth quarter, second down for Los Lomas from their 35-yard line. They trail 21-18 here in the North Coast Section 2A championship game. Play action.
Look at this.
Yamashita's wide open. Yamashita makes the catch. Is this kid one of the most versatile players you've ever seen? He returns kicks, plays defense, plays offense, can be a running back. Incredible. Just a sophomore. We'll see a lot of him next year.
And he's taking sports medicine in college, and he does the training on the side when guys get hurt a little bit.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
James Daniel.
Sometimes I don't know.
Sports medicine. Look at this time. Writes a book. Reads a love story. Hits John Brody.
Man.
Number 12.
That was a bullet. Sater made the tackle.
Sater, nice tackle. Nice wrap-up job.
25-yard gain. First down from the Acalanes 40-yard line with 11:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. This could be an exciting finish, folks. Lewis running the option again. Cuts upfield. Lewis is gone. Lewis 10. Touchdown Los Lomas just like that. In 2 plays, they go 65 yards. Lewis wraps it up with a 40-yard run. And, Steve, it's going to be 24-21, soon to be either 25 or 26-21.
And, Dan, I am so impressed with the way Lewis has taken over this game on his side. When it was 14-0, you could tell he just sits on the one drive that he had, Dan. He said, you know what, I'm going to have to jumpstart this team myself. And he really did. The first time they drove down on the fourth downs, they had the 4 of them. He was involved on so much of the offense. And to me, it just seemed like he put a spark of life for this team. And Lewis, I'm just really impressed with the way he's been running this offense.
We'll take another look at it after the extra point. Schneider on a penalty.
And, Dan, one thing I've seen about Lewis, we've watched him for a couple years. Have you ever seen the guy throw nothing but a missile out of his hand?
No.
I mean, the guy throws complete scud missiles out of his hand.
It's too bad he's not about 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
He might be going, he could play somewhere.
Here's our buddy.
Dead ball. Encroachment against the defense. Penalty is declined. We're still PAT.
So they decline that. They want to keep it at the 2 or 3. Sometimes it looks like the 2 and sometimes it looks like the 3. I always say it's the 3-yard line. Kick is good. 25-21 Los Lomas with 11:22 to go fourth quarter, which just means, Steve, there's time for 2 or 3 more scores.
Oh, at least. Let's watch the replay right here of Mr. Lewis, Dan. And right here, he's just a fake. You got to look at the option with Knockman right here. Look at that big kick-out block right there by number 8, Dan. Bonacorsi kicks it out right here. Well, I'll tell you what, the FBI ain't going to catch him. The CIA ain't going to catch him. That Walsh guy and Most Wanted, they're not going to catch him. You're going to have to get a warrant to catch this guy.
J.C. Lewis with 130 yards rushing here in tonight's game. He is Michael Vicking his way into the Los Lomas record book. The AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, the North Coast Section Championships, are brought to you by great friends of the program here on AT&T Broadband, and they include A&B Creative Trophies of Antioch, Mazet Pontiac of Antioch, and RSC Rental Service Corporation of Martinez. Thanks to all of our great friends. We'll be calling you soon for basketball donations.
Yes, we will. And anybody who wants to get involved and help show some of this high school sports, get a hold of Metal Matt.
Schneider to kick.
I got news for Jackson. He's buying pie tonight, okay?
Yeah,
all right?
what we've put up with.
He's buying pie.
Schneider, this is another good kick. Lawrence at the 5. Lawrence looks upfield, goes outside. He's still on his feet, breaks a tackle. Lawrence still on his feet, out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Would your business like to join the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week? We were just talking about it. A great opportunity to increase viewer awareness of your business while supporting local high school sports. Call 933-6264. Ask for Metal Matt. 26-yard return. A-Crop made the tackle, and we have a shot of the officials tonight.
And these guys have been very good tonight, Daniel. Let's see what he's got to say.
And a personal foul.
Football foul, personal foul, late hit against Red. First down.
6 penalties for 70 yards tonight against Los Lomas. This is going to give Acalanes great starting position. Let's thank Diablo Foods once again at 3615 Mount Diablo Boulevard, Lafayette, and 10 Dana Plaza, Concord. Great friend of the program, great food, great service, old-fashioned type shopping atmosphere at Diablo Foods.
It really is, and there's good food there. And we want to thank them for helping us through the playoffs. There's guys like that made this possible.
7 for 75 yards. First down, Clark. Scrambling, goes to the sideline, gains about 6. They're at midfield, Steve,
in
less than about 28 seconds after that last touchdown.
Ryan Spiegel, number 11, on the corral. Here's a late hit. Let's see if we can't see it right here. There's the tackle. And
oh, well, what was he thinking? Man. What was number 16 thinking?
Oh, we can't. He's innocent till proven guilty, Dan. I am a lawyer, and I know how to do this.
We can't mention this.
Yes, he might have got pushed from behind.
Okay.
I mean, the guy's a dirty player. What do you want me to say?
2nd and 5. Handoff to O'Neal. And O'Neal gets a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down. There's Swisher and
Lowe, Bonacorsi,
and Lowe, the
big 3. They're like the Fab 3.
The usual suspects.
Yeah.
What was the Fab 4?
But there was 4 of them. Ringo didn't count, did he really?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Ringo was one of my favorite guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
100 yards for O'Neal rushing in tonight's ball game, and O'Neal averaged over 100 yards a game in the regular season. Ringo's great.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? He wrote Octopus's Garden.
Did he?
Yes. He wrote With a Little Help from My Friends.
What about the Yellow Submarine guy?
He sang that. That's
Did he?
Ringo. Come on.
Oh, come on. He couldn't sing a tune if he...
3rd and 3.
What was the other 3 guys' names?
And a penalty, and it's the right tackle who moved, and it's going to be a procedure penalty, make it 3rd and 8 for Acalanes. First penalty of the game.
And Dan, you know what? That's a big play right there.
Dead ball foul, full start, offense, still 3rd down.
Did I tell you that's my grandfather right there? It is, Dan.
Steve, your grandfather would have to be like 78 years old.
He is 78. That's him. Okay, I'll introduce you to him after the game.
Oh, jeez.
He's a Pac-10 official.
I don't know if he's a Pac-10 official.
He is. He's my grandfather.
I know that Dave Katai and Dale Newhouse are. There's the penalties. Okay. See, Jackson has told me it was 7 for 75 yards. It is 6 for 70 yards.
Well,
God only knows.
The guy's on Prozac over there. I don't know.
3rd and 8. Clark to throw. Throws. In and out of the hands of number 4, Patrick Clancy.
Oh, Patrick, big drop. Boy, he really was. Well, look what he's got on his hand there. He couldn't catch a cold. Look at that thing. He might have a club in there, Dan. And right here, good protection up front by Acalanes' O.
If it was you, you'd have a club sandwich in there.
Look at that.
Oh, well, he threw into 5 guys.
Yeah, I know he did.
Underneath, Doherty was open.
Look at that. That thing's illegal on his hand.
Acalanes I think this is Acalanes' first punt of the night, Steve.
It is, Daniel.
Dixon to kick. Davis deep. And Dixon, a little wobbler.
Let's see what kind of bounce it takes.
Oh, it takes a great.
Okay.
Oh, look at this bounce.
Look at this thing.
AstroTurf bounce to the 10-yard line. That was the right thing to do in that situation. Now there's 9:07 to play, fourth quarter. 25-21 Los Lomas, and they have to go 90 yards.
Well, Dad, you know what? With this offense right there, he's got 6 fingers up. What the hell does that mean?
It means it was a 42-yard punt.
And excuse me for saying that word, but you know what? That's a bad word to say to kids. But I'm ready to kill this guy over here. Jackson's driving me nuts.
Well, you don't care about stats. Only I care about stats. You just comment on things.
Okay.
And
but Dan, can I say,
comment on the crowd?
Very nice-looking Republican crowd. Conservative. They're over there. Nothing illegal going on. Hugs and kisses.
First down from the 10.
I love this time of year.
4-point lead for Los Lomas in the fourth quarter. Lewis once again, and he's hammered. I think that was Bissell the missile. It was Bissell.
It was, number 66.
See, Lewis is really, at some point, they're going to have to determine whether it's smart to get him run every single time they have the ball. Loss of 1 on the play.
And let's watch number 66. Right there, he gets double-teamed. He plays through it and just, when you run into that guy, that was like Jack Lambert or something. Somebody just, that hurt. That hurt me watching him get tackled.
This stuff is not the softest, this AstroTurf here.
No.
I fell in this once back in 6th grade. It took 4 years for the scar to heal.
Well, I was in here with you in 8th grade and seeing you fall all the way for the 50-yard line in the end zone, and I can't tell you what we were doing. And there he is again. They tried the Bissell again.
It was Nachman, and Bissell makes another great play.
Bissell says, "Oh, I'm not going nowhere.
So
keep coming over here."
This is a huge play. If they
Yes,
can
it
stop
is.
them here, it's 3rd and 8. They can stop them, force them to kick. They'll have pretty good field position here, and there's still 8 minutes to play.
And you know, Dan, right down there, this end of the field, you know, you're thinking that, okay, if I could eat the clock up, come down and get 7, I'm looking pretty darn good right here. We got our championship. But, you know, they're getting a little conservative right there. They're putting the ball on the ground. They want to try to move the chains. So far, it's backfired, and I agree with you, Dan. This is a huge 3rd down play right here.
This is where you usually send up the smoke signal to Mr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run the option again, and Lewis doesn't get there.
No.
I think he got tripped up by Dixon.
Number 41, Dixon. Great job in the backfield. They're going to get the ball back.
They're going to get the ball back with plenty of time. That was a huge series of downs for the Acalanes
Yes, it
defense.
was, Dan.
They came through.
And, you know, they put the ball on the ground 3 times, and they ended up getting about 4 yards on those 3 plays. Let's watch the replay right here. You know he's going to pitch to Lockman right there. Scroggy, we haven't said his name a lot. He does a good job springing it out, but not to be. And you know what?
They strung it out, too.
Strung it out. What did I say?
Spring.
I tell you. You know what? I need to go back to class.
They almost blocked it.
Wow.
They almost blocked
and look
that
at the
kick.
roll. Look at the roll.
Oh, what a roll, though. That rolls out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So it's just about where they were when they gave the ball up the last time.
Right.
With 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter, 25-21. A good kick that time by number 90, Jim Kuhn.
Jim Kuhn.
Additional friends of the program, Fine Things, Aladino's Pizza, American Plumbing, Straight Line Builders, the New Mecca Cafe, Furtado Heating and Air, Leo Home Sales, Delta RC Raceway and Hobby Shop, Dragon's Lair at Rivertown, Delta Bay Waterproofing, Performance Chiropractic, and Communication Buildings of America. 39-yard punt, no return. Acalanes takes over at the 47-yard line of the Dons. First down.
When we go get pie, do you think we get Jackson in a room next to us where we don't got to look at him either to hear him?
I'd like that set up for the rest of my entire
just
career.
Put Jackson. We'll look at him. We don't got to hear him.
Clark
look
the
at this.
throw. Oh, Buena Corsi was all over him. Throws back to Dixon, and Dixon is close to a first down over the 45, near the 43-yard line.
I think you're going to mark it a little bit short, Dan. Looks like they got it marked about a half yard short. Let's watch the replay right here, Dan, and let's watch this hit right here. Buena Corsi puts on. Look at this. Oh, boy. That hurts because, you know, he jumped up in the air to get rid of it, so when he came down, that had to hurt. And right here, here's Larry Zonka.
Yeah.
Kevin Lowe, usual suspect.
Man.
Yeah.
He's a great player. I really like watching
Oh, he
Kevin
really
Lowe.
is.
Remember the first game we did? They lost, but Kevin Lowe was the player of the game.
He was the player of the game because he was all over the field.
Handoff to O'Neal. O'Neal breaks free. O'Neal down the sideline, 30, 20, inside the 15-yard line. Davis knocks him out of bounds, and Acalanes is in business with 6:23 to go.
Boy, I tell you what, I am so impressed with this I was going to say Kevin O'Neal, but Kevin Lowe was in on the tackle. But it was Tim O'Neal. Let's watch it right here. This left side. What's number 62? Kick out block.
You know, Bissell might be my player of the game.
Yeah, he might be.
Him and O'Neal. I mean, man.
But what a great kick out block, Dan, by number 62, Tony Ferris on the left-hand side.
Ferraris?
Yeah. I knew I wouldn't get it right.
But you tried. I'll give you points.
The only name I got right tonight is Miller, White,
and Nelson.
And Ward Nelson. That's it. Everybody else I've really messed up.
First down. Clark to throw. Throws for July. Right sideline. Incomplete. Spiegel was there in the coverage. It's second down with 6:20 to play.
Can I get fired for this gig or
no? Not really.
Really? Okay.
No, because your humor wins over most of the viewers.
I just thought that maybe they
actually some of the mispronunciations add to your charm.
Oh, okay. I don't mean to do it.
Well, we know that. We know you have to work late on the UPS truck.
I do.
Can't study the names like Dan does, and Dan has your rosters all ready for you and your cheat sheets all ready for you.
I like Danny. He's a nice guy. He's a nice play-by-play guy. He gets everything all ready for me, and I still screw it up.
Second down, Clark.
Big
looks
play,
to
Dan.
the end zone.
He's got him.
What's the call? Incomplete.
No, incomplete.
I'm trying to pick it up over there. Yep, the ball's on the ground.
It's July, Dan.
July and Spiegel again.
Spiegel going for it, and I don't know how he dropped it because he timed his throw perfect. If I ain't mistaken, Spiegel knocked this ball out of the hand. Let's see if number 11 right here doesn't strip him right here, Dan, of the ball. Now watch July. Number 11, he goes up. Now watch his strip, Dan. Watch it when it comes down with his hand.
Oh, yeah.
And he strips him. He
Yeah.
stripped him.
It was Spiegel.
It was Spiegel with a great strip job. And
Spiegel cataloged that.
Wait a minute. Oh, my God.
Come on. That was too
now,
good.
See, I could sit here for a week and think Spiegel, Deagle, Daggle.
Third down. Clark.
Dickory.
Oh, he's going to be sacked.
Oh, yes, he is. Big play.
Number 54 made that play.
Who else?
We haven't called Ryan Perrin's number that much tonight, but that was a huge play by Ryan. Loss of 3, fourth down from the 19-yard line. This could pretty much be the game right here, Steve.
Let's watch the replay right here. And it just collapsed, Dan. Right here on the outside.
Perrin, the missile over here on the side.
Oh, man.
Perrin and Pippo. Say that 4 times.
Perrin and Pipple, Perrin and Pipple, Perrin and Pipple.
Timeout, Acalanes.
Pack up
5:43 to go.
Pickle, pack up, pickle, pip. Peter Piper picked up.
Would you stop it? Diablo Foods at 3615 Mount Diablo Boulevard in Lafayette and 10 Dana Plaza in Concord. Great place to shop. Old-fashioned service. Great food. Diablo Foods, Steve.
Well, what can you say about Diablo Foods? I can't say a lot because I don't know nothing about them at all. No, they've been a great job. They do a great job there. They got great food, great friendly service. We want to thank them for jumping aboard and helping us out in these playoffs. All these guys, these special sponsors who came up and said, hey, we want to watch some more football games and see if Steve can't make a complete idiot out of himself, which tonight I'm really doing.
That started on September 13th and only abated when you left us for 6 weeks. There's the Acalanes huddle. And there's the Los Lomas cheerleaders. And a great game tonight, 25-21. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Nope.
Last year we had a great game here between Miramonte and Campolindo. Next week we should have a great, tomorrow, which will be shown next week.
That's
We
right.
should have a great game between San Ramon and Monte Vista. I'll tell you, on these teams, just like these two teams are watching, Monte Vista, Kyle Wright, Sam Desaw. Why do I want to call him Joe Desaw?
He is Joe.
I'm Sanchezing right now.
That's right. Go ahead.
And Kyle Turner, Tom Hogue.
Kyle Turner, not Kyle.
Oh, that's right, Kyle Turner. I think I have it written down as Kyle Turner, actually.
You
I have to
might
change
have.
my notes. San Ramon, Sam Keller, Brody Stringer.
Hogue.
Well, he's on Monte Vista. Great athletes on that game. Now, this is the play of the game right now. Fourth down. 4th and 13. Clark to throw. Has time. Oh, little post and corner to the end zone. Oh, that's interference. They don't call it.
No, they tripped over each other, Dan. That's one of them things to where your feet gets tangled with each other right there. And you know what?
I thought that was pass interference.
Well, you know what? A flag could have came right there, Dan. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have been surprised because you see that a lot when the guys get tripped up like that. So I like to see the replay of it, but they didn't throw no flags.
Yeah, if their feet got tangled, that's one thing. Let's take a look at it.
Let's see if they don't just incidentally contact right here. It's up in the air, Dan, and right.
Oh, no, that wasn't interference. That wasn't interference.
That was or wasn't?
Wasn't.
No. Okay, good call.
No, it just looked like that
Yeah.
first look.
Because when he tripped at him, he just went down and.
So Los
Huge
Lomas
play,
takes
though.
over.
Huge play.
5:36 to go at the 19-yard line. They need to kill some time here.
Yeah, a couple
because,
first downs will do it, Daniel.
They gave the ball right back in about a minute and a half last time. Knockman is stopped.
Oh,
Knockman
yes.
is stopped at the line of scrimmage. You see all the usual suspects. Bissell was there. Nunn was there. And one of the young men laying on the ground made the initial hit. Keep that camera right there.
I am.
It's,
Number
it's
4,
Lawrence.
Dan. Lawrence, he was there. Great play by Lawrence because he was the first guy to commit the crime.
Is everything a crime with you?
Well, I just want to hear guys say, instead of refuse appealing, that they choose not to prosecute.
Here's the other angle on the replay.
And let's see if we can't see right here. And I think it's incidental. You know,
Well, see, here's the thing, though. just if you're looking that way, Yamashita fell and kind of fell into Doherty. So you can make the argument either way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe also they considered it an uncatchable ball because it was 5 or 6 yards out in front. Lewis, play action throws. Oh, Davis is wide open. Davis is at the 50. Davis is at the 40. Inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. That was a gutsy call on second down by Coach Longero and his offensive coordinator. We want to give him credit, Bill Neal.
Yeah, great call right there, Dan. You suck the defense in a little bit. They're thinking in the back of their mind they want to eat some of the clock off right here, eat some time off. Let's watch it right here, Dan. Little fake to Nachman right there. They bite a little bit. Nachman, what a great job. Picks up number 50.
Deemer,
and boy, right there, he's wide open. And you know, sooner or later, you can't hold this guy down for a whole game. He's going to break through for a couple of big plays, and that is the biggest play of the game right now, Dan, because that moves the chains. It gives him a short field. Everything's going on.
3 catches for 47 yards in tonight's game for Davis. First down, handoff, Nachman straight ahead, and he's corralled by 2 Dons, and the main tackler. If they had numbers on their shoulder pads, this wouldn't take so long. Tony Ferreras, number 62, made that tackle.
Good job by Ferreras up the middle right there.
Ferreras.
Oh, God.
You know, I can only do so much, Steve.
I know, Dan, and I don't help out a whole lot. But you know what?
You know how many players we have? We have to learn 140 players' names for these 2 games in one night.
Can I tell you something, Dan?
And you want to know something, too?
I don't study a whole lot. You know that?
You do a pro game, you do a college game.
Right.
They have a media guide. It's got every name phonetically spelled out for you, so you don't have to go through
And they got guys in the earphones that know how to sell it, too. I wish we had one of those.
Gain of 2. Second down. Lewis on the option once again. Cuts ahead. First down. Inside the 20. Clark made the tackle with help from Deemer. It's going to bring up a first down. 3:35 to go, and one more first down, and this game could be over, Steve.
Yeah, Dan, and they're down there just into the field right here. And let's watch it right here, Daniel. And right here, here's Lewis. And boy, I tell you what, I'd like to see what his running yards are, because he's got to be up around 130, 140. Lewis rushing down, and he's picking up 144. Am I pretty good or what?
We're talking here in silence as we usually do about the players of the game. We got to pick the play of the game as well, Steve. And we might have to wait a couple of plays to see, because this next play could be the play of the game.
Well, Dan, I got my play of the game.
Okay. Handoff to Nachman.
Jackson buying pie after.
Over the right side. Gain of 7. Inside the 10. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Dan, we're over the 3-minute mark, and boy, I tell you what, Dan, what a great game we've had right here. And you know what? The Dons have really showed up, and they've really impressed me.
If they could make a big play, though, here, and at least force a field goal, maybe conserve about 2 minutes of the clock. Remember last week,
you're right,
they had
Dan.
to go down the field, score a touchdown in 2 minutes, and they did it.
You know what? The one thing I learned by doing these games with you is that, you know what? Yogi Berra, it's never over till it's over. I don't care what nobody says. It's a fact, though. All you need is about 30, 40 seconds in high school. If you don't believe me, ask San Ramon.
Yeah. 2nd and 3. Lewis running the option again. Cuts upfield. Touchdown, Knights. This one is just about over. J.C. Lewis, easily the player of the game for Las Lomas tonight. 31-21, a 9-yard run. He's over 150 yards rushing in a Michael Vick-like performance.
Unbelievable, Dan. And you know, like I alluded to earlier, he just took his team over, put it on his back, said, you know what, guys, we're down 14-0. I'm going to have to do something here. He really did. He ignited it. And to me, the play of the game is the big option thing that he ran. Not this touchdown, the one before. I think it opened up that he went about 40-something yards, Dan, or whatever it was?
We're going to have to go back and look at that and give the flowers on that play to whoever made that block. I think it was Swisher.
I think it was, too.
Schneider's extra point is good. 32-21.
And that's a good call on your behalf, Dan. We always talk about the guy running the ball, but let's give it to the blocker. And who is that clown? That's Joel. Joel does a great job. All of our guys out here does a great job. And right here, Dan, let's pick it up right here. He just runs the option. Another kick-out block by big number 8, Dan. He has done a great job, Bonacorsi, of blocking tonight. I tell you, he did a kick-out block right there you just missed, Dan. Beautiful.
Well, I think it was Swisher who made that block on that play for Lewis.
Okay, I think you might be right.
Because like I said, we're going to give Lewis player of the game, and he's going to get some flowers from Jory's Flowers. And we're going to give whoever made that block the play of the game.
And I need to get some flowers from Matt, because my 25th wedding anniversary is coming up Tuesday. And I'm going to need some flowers, some chocolate, some diamonds, some cars, some houses. I'm in trouble.
I think we might be able to help you with the flowers and the chocolate.
Okay.
That's it.
Los Lomas band, they're rocking and rolling, Dan.
Oh, Dave Jackson is estimating the crowd at 3,300 tonight for tonight's game.
Dave Jackson couldn't give you the winner of a horse race with one horse in it. Okay, but he's going to tell you how many people's here.
Secretariat by himself. Yeah. Who's the winner? Sure ain't Secretariat.
Yeah, that.
Oh, man. 32-21 Los Lomas. Here's Schneider's kick. It's a good one. Lawrence at the goal line. He's going to bring it out. Lawrence with a lane outside, still on his feet at the 20. Lawrence still on his feet. Lawrence up to the 36-yard line, and he gets hammered. Over there. I think Davis was over there with the hammerings.
And number 14, I think the guy who does the kickoff, he has made some plays tonight on the special teams.
Well, Schneider's not a small boy.
No, he's not.
I mean, Schneider's 5'10", 170. He's not little. Additional friends of the program: McGarry Motors, Humphreys on the Delta, Independent Copier Service, Antioch Automatic Transmission, Antioch Delta Group Building with Dr. Soto and Dr. Colson, Pacific Pride Distribution, Joe's Food and Gas, Skips Copier, Pace Auto Sales, Narrow Road Design, Antioch Opticians, Rock Bottom Records, and Images of 3 Hair Salon. We'll finish with our great sponsors after this play. Clark goes over to the sideline. They don't have enough players on. Gleason wasn't on the field. Maybe he was over there getting a drink or getting some equipment worked on.
And now they're shifting this up. They're going to have to hurry, Daniel.
They do first down. Clark to throw. Here comes Swisher. Oh, Clark just Houdini's out of this, and he fumbles.
And they got it. It's over.
And Los Lomas has it, and this ball game is over.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Dan, who recovered that. Number 4, Patrick Clancy, the one with the big illegal hoof on his arm.
Real quick, let's finish up our great friends of the program. Then we'll look at the replay. Antioch Chiropractic, Golf and Games, S&S Imports, Trident Environmental and Engineering, Antioch Armory, Pantel's Music Box, and Bestwick Insurance. Let's take a look at this play again, Steve.
and here it is, Dan. And right here. And watch this Houdini action. Here's Swisher from the outside. And watch this, like he's got eyes behind his head. He goes, yeah, I'll go this way. Oh, that's a good move. And right here, he's just trying to make something out of nothing, really, Dan. And you know what? He just, at times, that happens. And right there's the Mr. Club coming up with the ball.
2:04 to go, and Lewis once again, that time, though, he gets hammered at the line of scrimmage. I would think that Acalanes will probably burn a timeout in this situation. They only have one left, so this is going to come down to
none.
It's going to mean a miracle. None made the tackle.
Yeah, Nunn was in a Marshall Nung, number 45. He's 5'10", 202 junior. He'll be back.
Here's our basketball schedule, Steve, and we're going to maybe make a couple changes and switch it around, but we will start.
Camp Little Acalanes? There's no love lost there.
Week before, we'll let you know in the paper, but we will be more than likely starting Camp Lindo Acalanes, Pittsburgh at De La Salle, and then right on through.
My friend Coach Alaco.
Coach Alaco. We're going to try to do the De La Salle Oakland Tech game at St. Mary's. That's something we're talking about.
Heck yeah.
Knockman on second down. Clock is running with 1:18 to go. Acalanes uses their final timeout. And this one's going to come down, Steve, to where I just don't think that Acalanes gave it a heck of a shot.
They did.
This is a team that
played their heart out.
In the regular season, they've only lost to the teams at the time, especially Dublin. That first time was playing very well when they lost that game. And they lost to Miramani and they lost to Los Lomas, the 2 top teams in the league. They avenged the loss to Dublin the first week of the playoffs. They avenged the loss to Miramani in the second, but they could not avenge the loss to Los Lomas.
No, they couldn't. And you know what, Dan? These guys, I tell you what. That coach over there has got to be very proud of these kids. They came out here, and the last few weeks they've really laid it on the line, and they've done a great job.
Well, they only have 24 rostered varsity players. They brought up 10 guys from the junior varsity just to fill out the roster. And he said that to me earlier. He needs to get more kids out for football.
Well, this has got to help this program.
Well, you know something, too. That was kind of an old decrepit stadium, old press box. You get a new stadium, you got a new field.
That's right.
Some kids walk on that campus now and go, wow, I might want to be involved in this.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
So that might help him out a little bit. This is going to help him. Some winning helps.
Sure, winning always helps. And winning always attracts attention, Dan. And you know what? The one thing in the Loma Linda area is that they do a great job with their youth early on. You know, if you ever notice the basketball players that come out of this area, the football and baseball players, they got great youth programs over there. And great coffee, too, because I go over there for cappuccino quite a bit. They got a couple good Starbucks. Millie's is a good place.
Lafayette is a great place to go.
I always get a triple shot of espresso because I'm the kind of the quiet, shy type.
Yeah.
And yeah, I need a little pick-me-up in the morning.
Third down.
185 deliveries I got to do.
Lewis hands off to Knockman. Nachman gets a couple. It's going to bring it 4th down, but they can't stop the clock.
No.
So Los Lomas will punt the ball here probably with about 40 seconds to go, and it would take, like I said, Steve, some sort of cow band miracle for Acalanes to come back in this one. There's our player of the game for Los Lomas, J.C. Lewis. What a game.
Yes.
Over 200 yards of total offense, over 150 yards rushing. There's the clock. But, Steve, we still got another game to do.
And, boy, what a game it's going to be. San Ramon and Monte Vista. Wow. Sam Keller.
2 guys.
Kyle
I'm going
Wright.
out on a limb and telling you both those guys are going to be professional quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and going into that game, how easy of a setup is that? I mean, that game is just, the hype is just, you don't even got to hype it up. It's hyped
great.
up enough. It's just real.
And
We just got to plug in and go.
I talked to both those coaches said, we're not doing nothing different. We're just going to line up, and we're going to do the same things we do. And really, I think that game could come down to a mistake. Here, really, this game was kind of strange because Acalanes didn't really kill himself penalty-wise. They turned the ball over, though. They put the ball on the ground. Los Lomas had a lot of penalties, but they were able to overcome them because of J.C. Lewis.
That's right. And you know that game, that San Ramon, Monte Vista game? Pulaski, Mike from Cal.
Mike Pulaski.
I don't know what he's doing here, but he's with a station. I don't know if he's with
Fox Sports.
Okay, he's with Fox Sports. He was here. He said it was the greatest football game he's ever seen.
And he played at Cal.
They're
actually going for it on 4th and 12. Lewis, little option, loses a couple. His clock will stop with 30 seconds
Change
to go.
of possession, yeah.
So, Steve, unless Acalanes can score on this play, get an onside kick and score on that play, it's going to take something like that, some sort of miracle. Yeah. Did you see the high school highlight the other night? It was a game played, I believe it was up in the Washington area.
Okay.
19-13 was the score at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. The team had the ball. They were going to punt from about the 4. You didn't want to risk a block with 18 seconds to go, so the guy turned around and ran right into his end zone. Drops the ball in the end zone. Starts celebrating. We won. The other team picks it up after a discussion done. Touchdown. They lost 20-19.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And that's why you play the games, because you never know what's going to happen. Right. Clark to throw on 1st down, far sideline, intended for July. It's complete, and July's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. You know, Steve, weirder things have happened.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Me being in this booth with you is the strangest thing that's ever happened in my life, and I don't know how you got stuck with this deck of cards, but, you know, we're a heck of a pair to draw to, that's for sure. But you know what, Dan? You're right. Anything can happen right here, and you know.
One more pass, an onside kick, 2 passes, you never know. Clark throws, and I think his hand got hit.
It did.
And it's incomplete. Doherty was the intended receiver. Yamashita with coverage. There's another guy that could easily be the player. If it hadn't been for J.C. Lewis's act, Yamashita would be the player of the game.
Because he really jump-started this team a little bit, too, with his plays.
He's a sophomore, too, Steve.
Wow.
So, you know, one thing I wanted to do while we still have some time, I want to say goodbye to all these great seniors.
Okay, let's go ahead,
For
Daniel.
Acalanes, Clark, Scroggy, Gleason, Dixon, Nelson, Samina, White, Bissell. On the defensive side, Deemer, Lawrence, all guys that are leaving, and we'll say goodbye to the Los Lomas after
Let's
this
don't
play.
forget Clark either.
Zach Clark, a senior.
Big one.
Clark throwing, has a receiver. Oh, it was right in the hands. Got to pick up that number, Steve. That far sideline's giving us a little trouble.
I can tell you right here. It's right here on the TV, Daniel. It's number 9.
Number 9 for Acalanes. First time we've called John McGlynn.
Number 9.
Now, here's some of the guys we've had for 2 years. J.C. Lewis, Dan Nachman, Joe Davis, the linemen, Kazaz, Perrin, Schwark, Miller, Karajian, all leaving, of course, Pippo, who's played a lot. Mike Morang's a great player. Also down lower, Acrop will be
Davis.
leaving. Want to say thanks to all you guys. It's been great having you guys on the program.
Coach Longero, thank you for being such a great guy.
14 seconds to go. Clark. Oh, he Houdini's and then he gets hit. No, that's Kevin Lowe. How fitting is that?
That's the way it ended.
Kevin Lowe ends the game with the sack. Their fans are going out onto the field. Los Lomas has won the North Coast Section 2A championship with a 32-21 victory over the Acalanes Dons. Let's enjoy this celebration for just a second, and then we'll take it out of here and be back with some interviews, Steve. But look at the fans down there having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big-time accomplishment for Coach Longero and
it
his
really
team.
is. And you know, Dan, they kind of stubbed their toe out of the gate this year. They didn't come out all the hype about how great this team was and all the people they had coming back. Let's just listen to this for a little bit, Daniel.
Steve, Los Lomas wins 32-21. We kind of predicted this team this year being in this position. A lot of people thought it would be against Miramonte, but it was against Acalanes, one of their great rivals, and it was a great game. We're going to get out of here for 3 minutes.
Okay.
We'll be back to wrap it up on AT&T Broadband. The final score, Los Lomas 32, Acalanes 21. The Knights are the 2A champions.
$123 yards of the
Flowers to say.
I'm with Rocco's Ristorani, player of the game, Tim O'Neill. 123 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Tim, another great game. What went wrong in the second half of your club?
I don't know, I just things kind of fell apart for us, and, you know, rest is history, so.
Must feel pretty good to get this far. The first time the club's been this far in school history. It was a great season nonetheless, though, right?
It was a great season, you know, we got a lot of good players, and, you know, it was a great season. Something I always remember. Just too bad it had to end up this way, so.
Close but no cigar, but it's still a fine season for the Acalanes Dons, and Tim, congratulations. We'll be back with a couple of the Knights right after this.
By the way, I just want to mention O'Neill had 124 yards rushing on 23 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Just so you know. 32-21 the final score. Dan and Steve back up in the booth with Matt Bolander, our great crew here tonight, as Los Lomas is celebrating their second North Coast Section Championship. They last won it in 1992, and they win it again here in 2002. And there's some of the awards being handed out. There's Coach Thompson with Zach Clark down on the field, and I would assume that might be one of the administrators or principals.
Congratulations.
For that's the flag that goes up in the gym as a runner-up.
Awards banquet.
And so
doesn't work to get them out here. They end up all over the place.
2002 North Coast Section 2A East Bay football champions.
Present that to your captain.
The Los Lomas Knights.
Good job, guys.
So it's been a great year. There's Deemer and Clark, who were 2 of the better players over the last
Yeah.
2 games that we saw. Steve, is we're going to have a couple of the Knights and Coach Longero, hopefully. Waiting to hear from Matt. What way do you want us to go, Mr. Bolander, here? You want to do some highlights, or you want to do the stats? Let's show you the highlights of the second half. We do have the stats for you as well. Here's Lewis.
This was a big pass here, Dan. And watch him get his man blocked into Dixon right there. That really helped him free him a little bit of time.
This is a 42-yard pass to Yamashita.
And Yamashita makes a great catch. Justice to the ball.
We're going to see a lot of him next year, just a sophomore.
Couple years. You're right.
And at that point, the score was 18-14 Los Lomas. This is that 2-point conversion that looked like the Keystone Cop, Steve.
Well, yes, it's something we got to remind everybody of. I think it's something they should remember.
Here's Zach Clark, back to pass. This is a beautiful play. This is that pass over the middle to Dixon.
Right out the outstretched arms of Kevin Lowe right there, and Dixon, he just turns it on right there, but he's up against there's a heck of a block right there, a wipeout block, but you're not going to outrun Joe Davis, so.
Davis made
Great
the
play,
tackle.
though. Great play.
And this is on the drive that led to O'Neill's 3-yard run. And there's the end of that run, proving that he's in the end zone.
He is in the end zone. And there's some Acalanes fans real quick.
Now, this is our Jory's Flowers play
Let's
of the game.
watch number 8.
Oh, it's
block.
Buenacorsi we're giving. We're giving the flowers to Bonacorsi. I'm sorry, not to Swisher. Bonacorsi
Number
made
8.
the kick-out block that enabled Lewis to go 40 yards for the touchdown. So Lewis is our Los Lomas player of the game. The Jory's Flower play of the game is that touchdown run. Let's take it down to the field for a minute. They're having a ceremony on the field.
What a great moment. Great moment for the Knights, Dan.
After all the hard work, Steve, almost 4 months on the practice field, 13 games, and the Los Lomas Knights are the 2A champion. And it's not a surprise. A lot of people thought they'd be here. A lot of people thought they'd win their league. And there's Coach Longero getting congratulations down on the field. Let's finish up the highlight package. Here's Tony. He's going to try to get some guys in for some interviews. But that last touchdown, after Lewis scored on that, this is the run once again. Like I said, this is the Jory's Flower play of the game. We're going to give the flowers to Bonacorsi for the kick-out block because Lewis is already getting some for being the player of the game. And J.C. Lewis had a great game, over 350 yards of total offense. And then here's another. This is a great pass. This got him out of trouble. If they could have stopped him down here, they might have had a chance. But he throws this pass over the middle.
This was the first nail in the coffin right here. This is the one that really starts sealing the victory for him.
And here's Davis, and he got them into scoring position. And
he was held pretty down a little bit tonight, but, boy, what a big play right there. That really was a momentum swing.
And this was the play that wrapped it up. Lewis, an 8-yard run on his own. How many times they run this play tonight,
Oh,
Steve?
yeah, there's that kick-out block again. And I do have to say that the Knights' offensive line really played good in the second half, Dan.
And here's the last play.
I like this by Switcher on the backside. Look, he's got eyes by his. He goes, wait a minute, I'm going to go this way. That's great.
It's Wayne Gretzky'd out of that
Yeah,
one.
he did.
And here's the fumble. And that pretty much wrapped it up right there. Clancy falls on it. Los Lomas wins the North Coast Section 2A title with a 32-21 win over Acalanes. There's a celebration on the field.
Couple moms. They're all excited.
They're excited.
Yes, they are.
Statistically tonight, as we wait for Coach Longero and for a couple of the players of the game down there. Do I need to read these, or do you have them? Oh, we're going to show this picture. We're going to show the picture right here. Yeah, they're going to take a picture of the team, and then we're going to wait for them to come back. Do we have the stats? Or want me to read them?
Well, he's got them. Dan's got them. So if you want.
I'm just going to read the stats, Steve. The graphic, we know what we're saying, right?
Yeah, well, you know what you're saying. I don't. Go ahead.
Total offense, not too far apart. Acalanes gained 349 yards of total offense, 174 running and 175 passing. Is that incredible? Amazingly enough, 399 total offense for Los Lomas, 205 rushing, 194 passing. Very balanced, both attacks. Penalties, Los Lomas had a bunch, 8 for 80. Acalanes only 1 for 5. The big stat on the Acalanes side, 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles, both recovered by Los Lomas. One that ended a drive in the Acalanes where they were down in the red zone trying to score. I'll tell you, a very exciting game. 23 first downs for Acalanes, 20 for Los Lomas. It was a great game. O'Neill had 124 yards rushing for Acalanes. Gleason, 6 carries for 35. Clark was 10 of 21 for 175 yards. July caught 5 passes for 99 yards. Dixon, 2 for 62. For the winning Knights, who you see there, and there's Kevin Lowe, who's a great player, and there's Lewis in the middle. Lewis's stats tonight, he rushed for 154, passed for 194. Oh, that was Nachman, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
And Nachman, since he's in the picture, ran for 48 yards. Lewis, by my account, had 348 yards of total offense, Steve. Davis caught 3 passes for 67 yards. Yamashita, 2 for 70 yards. That wraps up the stats. As soon as they're done with the picture, we'll have some time with the Los Lomas Knights, hopefully with the players of the game and Coach Longero. But this is a very important thing. This goes up on the wall in the principal's office or in the office lobby, Steve, and probably in the gym somewhere as well.
And I'm sure Coach Longero will have one at his home.
He just might.
And, you know, Dan, the thing about this is that a lot of people predicted that they would have a real good shot at doing this, but you always got to get through Miramani to do this, okay? Well, Miramani stubs their toe, and these guys coming out of the gate this year, they kind of stubbed their toe a little bit, and kind of people said, wow, well, you know, maybe they're not going to be the team. But they rose to the occasion. They came back. They came together as a team, and look at them now. They're the NCS 2A champions, and they're to be congratulated. What a great job and what a great team.
I think the game where they really start, you know, they were 2-2. They beat Mount Diablo and Concord, which are not teams that they would be expected to lose to. I think when they beat Dublin 48-6, people really started to take notice.
Right.
And then they ran the string of their schedule out and won all 3 playoffs games to become a North Coast Section champion. Let's talk a little bit about this league for next year.
Yeah.
We talked about the guys coming back for both of these teams. They should be formidable teams next year.
That's right.
Miramani should be a great team. Humphrey comes back there, and Carey with a number of their specialty players. And Dublin, as well, a Holiday Inn, we're showing that.
Just don't go there, Dan.
No, we were thrown out of a few Holiday Inns back in our
Anyway,
day.
Daniel, make your point. I'm listening to you.
Dublin is going to be very strong.
They'll
next
be very
year.
strong.
We'll have to wait and see about Campolindo because they do lose some players,
They lose some
including
players.
Falzer and Dixon.
That's right.
So, but this league is a lot like the WAC. You know, it's a crazy league. Things happen.
That's right.
All these teams are going to be playing on field turf, surfaces here
Right.
coming up in the near future, and this league just gets more and more fun every year to do.
Yep.
But next year also in the BVL, Steve, we're going to have Pittsburgh with a quality squad,
Antioch
with a big
They got
team.
a lot of juniors coming back.
It's going to be great next year. We can't wait, and hopefully with the early line, Steve, is our first game will be the second week of September. It'll either be Monta Vista at Antioch or Miramonte at Pittsburgh to kick off the season.
Well, you know, if the Miramonte-Pittsburgh thing happens, like the flavor of the month, we might just have to do it.
Just because
we've never had that flavor, and with me and ice cream, I'll try anything once.
Spinach tea?
I'm in.
We're waiting to see what happens here on the field. One thing about some of these guys, when we're trying to do these broadcasts, they don't realize that the tape's going to run out. We got to get these interviews. We got 20 minutes to wait, so we're going to. I don't know if they're taking pictures of like.
Oh yeah, they got
the seniors
individuals
now,
Oh,
and now
yeah,
they're going to
yeah.
individual. Dave, would you go down there and clear this up, Jackson, for me? I think right now they're taking a picture of all the seniors. We're going to throw this clip on. For some reason, this got taken off.
Okay.
It's something to actually kind of revisit and congratulate Coach Thompson. His interview at the end of the game when they won, when he was covered in Gatorade, didn't get on. We're going to show it right now,
Let's
then we'll
do
be
that,
back for
Dan.
the interviews. Here we go.
Let's go to Miramonte and Orinda.
It's how you play late. Here's Coach Thompson with Tony.
Of the Acalanes Dons, Ron Thompson and Thompson. Mr. Coach Thompson, a great game. You really got this program turned around. How did you guys get it done in the last seconds when it looked like it was all but over?
Well, we didn't panic. We had 2 minutes in the Campo game a couple weeks ago. We had 2 minutes, so we knew we had plenty of time. We threw the ball. Offensive coordinators were calling some great plays. We got out of bounds. We busted that big run one time, and then Zach Clark kind of took over.
Yeah, what a great play that was. He runs across the field, gives his blockers a second chance, and finds July in the corner of the end zone. How did July end up so wide open on that play? Because he wasn't working his way back to the quarterback.
He stood there, and Zach usually makes plays. He's a playmaker, and then, we got lucky, and it feels very good. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good.
Yeah, winning certainly feels good. And what about the past postseason experience last year and even this year as compared to how you played in last year's game? How does that help going into a big game like this, and especially a big drive right at the end?
Immensely. I mean, it gave our kids experience. We've been here all week. I've been telling them, hey, I expect to be in the finals. I said it in the paper. Might have put a little bit more pressure on them, but I said, hey, I expect to be playing next week. And they stepped it up. And then, as my wife was telling me, I brought some, not a change of clothes, because I knew I was going to get wet today.
He's very wet. Coach Thompson, the Dons are on their way to the championship game. A Moorbound franchise, or a bad program here, no longer. They're going to the championship game next week. Guys?
Back at Diablo Valley College now, live shot of the field, Steve. And Tony is with the player of the game for Los Lomas, J.C. Lewis. Let's send it down on the field to Tony.
I'm with Rocco's Restaurante, player of the game, Lewis and JC. What a great game. 350 total yards, 2 touchdowns. What was the turning point of the game?
The turning point of the game was when our defense, Tim Bonacorsi, came up and made a stop and made the quarterback fumble, and we were able to get the ball and drive it right down and score.
Yeah, early on in the game, you guys looked a little tentative. They were moving the ball well against you, and then they were stopping your offense. How did you get the offense turned around late in the first half?
Our coach came up. Hey, our coach came up to us and told us, "Hey, we need to suck it up." And so, hey, our offensive line started picking it up. We started running the ball more. And hey, coach just said, "Take the ball and take over the game."
Now, J.C. Lewis, or are you really Michael Vick?
I'm J.C. Lewis.
Congratulations. Here you go. He's our Rocco's Restaurante player of the game. Let's bring in Brendan Swisher. And the play of the game was that 40-yard run by J.C. Lewis. And on that play, that big touchdown run for 40 yards on the play, Swisher made a big block. That's the play of the game. Tell us about the play and your block.
Well, Coach called, I think it was a 19 lead option. And I didn't want to risk getting a holding called. And I know the best way to get him was to cut him. So I dove at his outside leg, and he fell down. And J.C. made a hell of a play and scored. And that was the turning point of the game.
You guys got off to a slow start, but you were able to rally and come back. Tell us, how were you guys able to get it turned around?
I think just
And the cheerleaders are just as important as the players and the rest of the people, Steve?
Yes, they are, Dad. I had a daughter who was a cheerleader, and they're a very important part of the program, and they put a lot of their time in. And these girls, they do a lot of work, and they're very athletic themselves. They really are, Daniel, and they deserve a lot of credit. They're a big part of high school football. And these guys are, I don't know what they're a part of. They're probably a part of some sort of skateboarding gang or something outside of the place that came walking in before it was over.
That was a great testament to our crew and to this game. And if you missed the first 2.5 hours of the game, we would have, we might have, you could just caught up on that 4-minute video.
That's right,
thing. We're going to send it down to the coach. We got Coach Longero with Tony.
I'm with Knights coach Doug Longero on the victorious side of this NCS championship game. And coach, after a slow start, how were you able to get turned around? And particularly in that second half, how did you get the offense so fired up?
I think we were moving the ball consistently throughout the whole game, but the second half, I think our defense got some key stops, and we were able to get some points on the board and put it away.
What about that first Bonacorsi and that forced fumble early in the game? What did that mean to the team?
That was a tempo setter. It obviously changed the tempo of the game. They were putting it on us a little bit, and it kind of changed the tempo a little bit. So it was a good outcome.
Coach, congratulations on a big win. You're NCS champions.
Thank you.
Let's bring in offensive coordinator Neil. And offensive coordinator Neil, how did you get J.C. Lewis going like that, over 350 yards total offense through the air and on the ground?
Well, throughout the season, we tried to protect J.C. as much as we could. And tonight, we just thought we'd lay it out all on the table and let him do what he does best, just run around and make plays. So whether he's throwing or running, he's a good football player, and we're proud of him, and he came out to play tonight.
Do you have a lot of set running plays for him, or is it just drop back, if there's nothing there, go ahead and take off?
What we actually do is our blocking scheme is similar whether he's running or the halfback's running it, so it's easy to make adjustments during the game by formation and things of that nature.
Yeah, it looked like they were stopping Nachman earlier in the game, but Lewis was still able to get open and make runs. I mean, just a great offensive scheme tonight, or just having the good players really helps?
Well, the players help, without a doubt, but we know when we spread the offense around a little bit, and then we spread by formation, they spread on the defensive side, and there's holes for JC to run in. That's all it came down to.
Coach, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And this is it, guys. NCS champions, the Los Lomas Knights here, and they win big over Acalanes here tonight. Guys?
Thanks to Tony for coming in this year. It's
he did a great
job to go down the sideline like that.
Did a great job.
He'll be with us tomorrow over at the Oakland Coliseum. 32-21 the final, and I think now we're finally ready to acknowledge the great crew that we have out here for these games that we bring out every week. And, of course, the director and producer and accountant for high school football and sports is Matt Bollinger.
And he's related to Metal Matt.
Morgan Kuhn in the truck, graphics producer. Great job by Morgan.
He's a funny-looking guy, but he does a good job.
You're killing me. And here, go ahead.
Johnny Woo, he just woos us every single time he does a replay.
On camera, Jonathan, what can you say about
Jonathan Martin made the greatest recovery in the cameraman history after he got ran over a couple weeks ago. Unbelievable.
Joseph Ocon tonight, a great guy. He went to school in '94 at Pittsburgh.
Yes, he did. Joseph, he's got a brother who also went to school, but he didn't graduate.
Whatever. Jeremy
Mansker. You know, he's a cameraman. He interviews BNU, and he's really hard to get along with, but we get it done.
His beard is longer than some people's hair. Matt Johnson on camera tonight.
And he's on the scissors lift, right? Is that Matt on the scissors lift?
I think he was on the field and Joe was on the scissors
lift.
Well,
that's right, because Matt is really afraid of heights, so we got to keep him down.
Dave Jackson, he's going to be afraid of me and you in about 5 minutes.
No, because Dave Jackson better pull his wallet out because he's buying pie.
Special thanks to Ron Carter on graphics, as always.
And let's look at them pretty cheerleaders right there. And you know what? They do a great job.
Special thanks to Coach Doug Longero of Los Lomas. Congratulations, Coach Longero, on your victory tonight. And also special thanks to Coach Thompson. Don't hang your heads, guys.
No.
You had a great year.
Acalanes did a great job this year. Hi, Daniel Lockman.
There's Nachman for one of the last times. Special thanks to Diablo Valley College here in Pleasant Hill, a great site for tonight's game. And also special thanks to the CIF North Coast section. And we'll also to Gil over there, Gil Lamont.
Gil Lamont.
We'll see them tomorrow at the Oakland Coliseum. And, of course, Dan and Steve, and we'll be there tomorrow. Some more of the Los Lomas coaches.
Now, do you know what coach that is?
That's Coach Bradshaw or Coach Parker, I believe. I think that's Coach Bradshaw. No, that's Coach Parker.
It's Coach. Okay, go ahead, Daniel.
It's Coach Bradshaw or Parker.
Do your business.
I try hard. I really do. The AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, the North Coast Section Championships, are made possible by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Rocco's, voted the best pizza by the readers of the Contra Costa Times. Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, featuring the best in first-run feature films. Jory's Flowers of Concord and Walnut Creek, floral arrangements for all occasions. The Contra Costa Clean Water Program and Mr. Funnelhead. Remember, it's free, easy, and cool to recycle used oil and filters. A&B Creative Trophies, specializing in awards, Letterman jackets, embroidery, and team trophies on West 6th Street in Antioch. Mazet Pontiac on West 10th Street in Antioch, the biggest little auto dealer in the West. And RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez, scissor lifts, lighting, and other equipment for the petrochemical industry at 4030 Pacheco Boulevard in Martinez. Here's our basketball schedule, Steve, but we still got one more week. We're going to tape the game tomorrow. Should be a classic. San Ramon and Monte Vista at the Oakland Coliseum, the Division III final, and we'll show that to you next week. Los Lomas is the champion. 32-21 over the Acalanes Dons. For Steve Sanchez, this is Dan Wall. This has been a high school sports production from AT&T Broadband in Walnut Creek. Until next week.
Happy holidays and good night, everybody.